Fox Business's Edward Lawrence at the White House. The goal is to let in humanitarian aid, enable Palestinian civilians to get to safer areas, and possibly get out hostages. The CIA director and a top Israeli intelligence official have both been in Qatar for talks on humanitarian aid and hostages. Reports of another drone strike targeting U.S. forces in the Middle East only hours after the U.S. launched a second round of retaliatory airstrikes.
2 F-15 fighter jets targeted a weapons storage facility in eastern Syria used by Iran's Revolutionary Guard and other groups supported by Iran. There have been near-daily attacks on U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria since the war in Gaza began.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, you're up next.
Ugh, my throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Please welcome to the stage.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
At SimpliSafe, our 24/7 lifeguard protection helps stop crime in real time. Because during a break-in, every second counts. And these days, every dollar counts. Right now, get 50% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. It's U.S. News and World Report's best home security of 2023. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The northwest flow is back, and it is out with our summertime air mass. Feels like fall this afternoon. Kind of looks like fall. A mix of clouds and sunshine, maybe a sprinkle or a shower. 59 for the high. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a sprinkle here and there down to 42. Friday, sunny and nice, 62. 35 Friday night. Beautiful fall weekend on the way. Sunshine and right around 60 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, visit mersgoodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
The Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is celebrating veterans this November. Mark Cox here. Overhead Door Company is doubling their usual veterans discount on all products and services for November. That means veterans and active military get 10% off all month at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Choose a new garage door opener, or any service or repair and save 10%. Call them at 314-781-5200 or go to overheaddoorstlouis.com. If you or someone you know is in charge of planning the holiday party this year, let me help you out. Mark Cox here. My friend Grill Master Tony is the best. He's expecting a busy December in terms of catering and deliveries, so get those Christmas orders in early and scratch it off your to-do list. He can do full catering, or he can cook it and drop it off at your house. Brisket, pulled pork, ribs with all the sides. You're going to love it. All you have to do is go to grillmastertony.com to order.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, happy Thursday. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. Tomorrow is a Veterans Day observed, and we're looking forward to celebrating that with you tomorrow. And yesterday, we had an election on Tuesday, and we have a GOP debate on Wednesday, of which I thought it was 8 to 10. I think I was listening just to Eastern Times, where I'd read it. And I admittedly was about 7:19 when I was like, oh, I should turn this on and see the pregame show. This is the actual show. So I missed it. I missed the beginning of it. But I watched the majority of it and then caught the rest of it through clips on Twitter and whatnot. And I have to say, I thought it was a really good debate. I honestly think that of all of the debates that have been had so far, that this one was the easiest to consume. And there's probably a few obvious reasons for that. And the number one being the smaller group of people on the stage.
I would agree with that assessment, like 100%.
Were there 5?
Yes.
Or was it 6?
It was
6 qualified with Trump and 5 on the stage?
Yeah, I think it was 5 on the stage because you had DeSantis, Haley, Ramaswamy, Scott, and Christie.
And the post-game guy on NBC kept saying Ramaswamy. And I was like, it's like the first thing you do is make sure that, are there any names that are difficult? Christie, I can do that. Scott, no problem. Haley, heard of her. DeSantis, heard of him. How do we say this? It's Vivek? Okay. Ramaswamy. These are things you got to practice. But this guy, don't know what his name was. He looked half my age. I've reached that point where he's probably my age and he just is a younger version of 39 years old. But he kept saying Ramaswamy, and I thought, you got to get this right. This has got to be the basic stuff that you get right. So I missed the opening statements, and I came in and I was listening to these people. I came in right when Nikki Haley was talking about her high heels. And I thought, ooh, that seemed like a good line when she says, they're 5-inch heels and I only wear them if I can run in them.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I like that. And then she went on to say they're ammunition. And everyone's like, but how? The left is like, ban high heels. All of them. All 5-inch heels. Heels should only be 2.5 inches.
Yeah.
Unless you're a man and you want to wear them.
High
as you can go. So I thought that was a good line. I put a picture out last night of my 7-year-old daughter. Dinner was happening, and so it's kind of chaotic in the house. We didn't do a live stream last night like we normally do. I know not as many of you are interested in these debates. A lot of you have your minds made up. I respect that. A lot of you are hardcore Trump fans, and I respect that. You might have been watching the rally that he had on a football field at a high school in Hialeah, Florida, and Hialeah, I think. Hialeah. I think it's Hialeah. And, you know, there's lots to be said about that. We're at a point where the claws come out after all of these events where people are making their case. And I just can't stress this enough. They're all infinitely better options than Joe Biden and the Democrats. All of them, every single one of them. Chris Christie for president if it means no Joe Biden. Chris Christie is about done, I think. He didn't have any Donald Duck line last night. How much of it did you watch, Brad?
I watched the whole thing.
Did I miss any Disney character references?
No Donald Duck lines.
No Goofy?
No.
Kind of should have. He should be like, I have to be at all the debates so I can get to the entire Fab Four. I don't need any of your Mickey Mouse stuff over there. Vivek Ramaswamy, GPT. I could write these for him. So I did not hear the Vivek Ramaswamy, because it was on NBC, the Vivek Ramaswamy opening statement until after the fact. And I think that matters because his opening statement was quite something. And we're going to play that here in a little bit. I did hear, I can't remember which one was the initial one. I have the opening statement. Okay, so this is the thing that he said to Nikki Haley about the high heels.
The fact of the matter is the Republican Party is not that much better. You have the likes of Nikki Haley, who stepped down from her time at the UN. Bankrupt or in debt was her family. Then she becomes a military contractor. She joins the board of Boeing and otherwise, and is now a multimillionaire. So I think that's wrong when Republicans do it or Democrats do it. That's the choice we face. Do you want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first? Or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
All right, Mr.
In which case, we've got 2 of them on stage tonight.
That is the stupidest thing he could have said. Because if you're a woman and you're watching this debate because you don't like the way it's going right now under the Democrat control, you probably already kind of like the fact that Nikki Haley is up there doing her thing. If you are maybe not super informed, if you don't know all about Nikki Haley, about the fact that she, has been a governor, she has been the ambassador to the UN, she's strong, she's fortified, she's a bit of a hawk. I know that she's more active when it comes to how we should engage in the world than some of the other people. That's a difference of opinion within the Republican Party. But there's clearly a lot of people in each of those camps. I think Nikki Haley is great. I have no problem with Nikki Haley. She doesn't have my first vote in the primary, but I would vote for any single one of those candidates that were on the stage tonight, including Donald Trump, over a Democrat, and be proud to cast a vote for all of them. No problems whatsoever. The tribalism that gets inflamed when a Republican primary, I don't know if the Democrats really do this. Once again, I don't know that they do this. The Democrat Party right now has an irreconcilable fraction in their party between the anti-Semitism that we've seen on display from elected officials in Congress. And we're going to talk to Alan Dershowitz about this at 1:25 today. He has a book out called War Against the Jews, How to End Hamas Barbarism. And we're going to ask Alan Dershowitz about the Rashida Tlaib censure, the St. Louis representative Cori Bush erratic support of the Tlaib way of doing business in the United States Congress. We're going to ask Alan Dershowitz all about this. But the Democrat Party, there is a strong portion of that party that is Jewish, that is looking at how their Democrat Party is handling this issue and saying, no, this is irreconcilable. And this is the same party that boasts the most progressive wing of that party in the squad, who has stood up with support from the river to the sea. I do not know how the Democrats are going to handle this. I do not know how the Democrats are going to bring the party together at the 11th hour, but they usually figure out a way to do it. And in the meantime, Republicans are having slap fights over who's the right kind of Republican, instead of saying, you want to be kind of a Republican? We'll take you. Why are we not doing that? Why are we not looking at a broad camp and saying, how do we work together to achieve things that we have common understanding over so that we can win? And if we can win and we can effectively legislate and govern in a way that shows that our small government-minded way of doing business in Washington, D.C. is the right way to do it because it returns the power to the people, then maybe you gain more power in other places. But you got to work for it, and you got to do it. And the Republican Party wants to get torn apart from within over who's too hawkish and who's too isolationist, who's too pro-life and who's too pro-choice. It's my body, and I'm never going to take that choice away from somebody. all of the different things that we destroy each other over. I mean, honestly, if you're sitting here right now and you're looking at this country and you're looking at the world and America's role in the world, and if you've got children and if you've got grandchildren, and the only thing that matters to you is that Donald Trump is the primary winner and the nominee, or that Donald Trump isn't the primary winner and the nominee, we're not doing it right. The policies of all of these candidates far outweigh the destruction that the Democrat Party is doing willfully and successfully to this country. And I think that Vivek Ramaswamy has brought fresh voice to a lot of these issues, but he decides to attack Nikki Haley in that moment because she wears heels. You don't say that to a man, which ironically, he did try to get in a little dig there, and it was covered up by gasps and applause when he was talking about heels, and he tried to throw a very mature attack towards Ron DeSantis, because I don't know if you know this, I think we talked about this one other time, Ron DeSantis may wear boots that make him seem a little bit taller, and that somehow or another is an eliminating factor in whether or not he should be the president over Joe Biden. We have to be better than this. That doesn't mean that you have to back down in any way, shape, or form for who your primary candidate is. If you're advocating for somebody, understand that. But don't get confused about who the actual opponent is in this race. I don't understand why Ramaswamy decided to go gender politics against Nikki Haley there. I don't agree with everything Nikki Haley says, but I agree with 80% of what she says. And you know what Ronald Reagan says about that? Same thing with Ramaswamy. But we're not in a position right now where when you listen to a lot of what these, it's not so much the candidates. I think the candidates made really good cases last night. I would say, Brad, did you hear anybody else arguing with each other in the manner with which Nikki Haley and Ramaswamy did?
No, those two were the two that were really just kind of bickering back and forth like that.
Bickering. Then there's Nikki Haley's response to Ramaswamy.
I want to laugh at why Nikki Haley didn't answer your question, which is about looking at families in the eye. In the last debate, she made fun of me for actually joining TikTok while her own daughter was actually using the app for a long time. So you might want to take care of your family first.
Leave my daughter out of your voice.
Adult daughter. The next generation of Americans are using it. And that's actually the point. You have her supporters propping her up. That's fine. Here's the truth.
You're just
the easy answer.
So we have an instance where Ramaswamy attacks Nikki Haley because Nikki Haley is saying TikTok is the devil, and I agree with Nikki Haley on that statement. We've had this conversation on this show. Should Republicans and conservatives be on TikTok because there are voters on TikTok? There is an entire swath of people who only get their information from TikTok. And our conclusion on this show was, we're not sure what people should do. This show, as I'm on most social media platforms, you can find the Annie Frey Show or Annie Frey on most things, but we're not on TikTok. But if you want to reach those people and persuade them on maybe seeing the Republican Party in a different light, maybe you do need to be on TikTok. It's complicated. So when you have Ramaswamy pointing out that Nikki Haley is saying, you know what, Vivek Ramaswamy shouldn't be on TikTok because it's dangerous, and Ramaswamy says your daughter is on TikTok, does that change your mind about things? Does it change your mind about things that her daughter is 25 years old and can pretty much do whatever she wants? And the Democrat Party will advocate for a 13-year-old daughter in the state of Illinois who gets pregnant to be able to get an abortion without ever even telling her mother. So why are we so, wagging the fingers about what parents should be doing and not be doing? I mean, it's just all silliness. And then you have Nikki Haley reply saying, you're just scum. And people are saying, oh, is this all it takes to get under Nikki Haley's skin? If I'm watching this as a mother and I see him use her daughter against her and she doesn't act like a mother in that moment, I'm thinking, what's going on here? You can't remove the feeling from it. She needs to have a response for it. And her team probably failed her by not having a response for the people who are around her who are on TikTok. I bet you she has staffers who are on TikTok. All of these things that we're arguing right now about, the size of Nikki Haley's heels, Nikki Haley's daughter being on TikTok, Ramaswamy being on TikTok, trying to reach a group of people who are not usually engaged in from the Republican Party, trying to make an effort to go places where the Republican Party hasn't gone before. I understand to an extent all of it, but how does any of it help us beat the Democrats in 362 days? What is the goal? Donald Trump is the nominee of the party until he's not, and we don't know when that's going to happen. And I said this within the last 2 weeks, maybe within the last week. I said, if Ron DeSantis does not compete, and Nikki Haley, if they do not compete in Iowa, if their numbers are in the single digits in Iowa, they need to drop out. If they only have, 10% of the vote, 15% of the vote, and Donald Trump has a plurality or a majority, I should say, it's time to move on and it's time to coalesce. But I do think that the Republicans need to have a plan B to Donald Trump. And we're going to talk to Hans von Spakovsky about that when we come back, because he's facing an enormous gauntlet of legal challenges that is the Democratic plan to keep him from being the president. And you're saying to me right now, but Annie, why should we give into it? Because what if they're successful? Republicans are not winning elections in this way. And I'm questioning everything and everyone to make sure that we don't leave any corners unchecked as we move into this election, because we cannot afford 4 more years of Joe Biden or his surrogate. We just can't. I'd love to know what you think about the debate last night, if you even watched it. And I found it to be, that what we just talked about here is the drama that's surrounding, the distraction that's surrounding it. Maybe I'm guilty myself of being distracted in that moment. But there is substance that's going to come out of it. And I'm going to talk to you more about that later on the show at 1:05. We'll get the whole crew in here and we'll discuss a bit of the debate last night. When we come back, we're going to talk to Hans von Spakovsky. What is going on with the Trump trial? Letitia James, is that right? Letitia James? I always think I'm thinking LeBron James when I say her name. And I'm like, oh man, is that wrong? Kind of start to panic, but it is correct. LeBron James would be just as good of an attorney there. Let's take a quick break. The YouTube live chat poll: should Republicans continue to campaign to make abortion illegal? Yes or no? Let us know what you think on the YouTube chat. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
The pine trees growing up on the hill. My love is lower than the snowflake that falls in late December. I miss days a robin on the springtime windowsill.
AirComfortService.com is the website. I want you to go and look over their website for any of your HVAC needs, but I want to talk to you business owners out there right now. I'm often talking to people about their homes, about whether their furnace is running all the time and not heating their home. Same thing with the air conditioner. You're spending a lot of time to power that thing, but it doesn't seem like you're really ever getting to your comfort zone. Also, insulation concerns people might have in their residences where everything seems to be working great with the furnace, but the house is just not getting heated. Those insulation concerns might be an issue for you. Well, all of those things apply to businesses as well, because Air Comfort Service is sought out when it comes to commercial repairs and installations for HVAC needs. If you have a concern, if you think it might not be working properly, if you know that you're running on borrowed time with an old unit, reach out to Air Comfort Service. Tell them Annie sent you. Talk to Corey or the people at Air Comfort Service about how they can come out. They can give you second opinions if you need free second opinions, if you need a little extra eyes on the issue as it has been assessed before. And go with the people who you can trust. If you don't trust my review of them, and I am a customer of theirs, go online and you'll see accolades after accolades. 314-513-0091, online at aircomfortservice.com.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering how long your money will last? Are you also sick of worrying about losing your life savings in the next market crash? I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. Let us build your own personalized structured income plan, which will show you how much income you can receive in retirement, but more importantly, it will show you how long your money will last. Stop wondering if you have enough to retire comfortably.
Call us now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. We'll teach you the strategies you won't hear from your broker or banker. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping our clients retire with confidence for the past 37 years. Let us help you. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at Zero Res. November brings another great offer. I'll get into those details in a second, but let's face it, it's the month of Thanksgiving. We got Christmas and everything else coming up. You want your home to be clean. You're going to have friends and family come over, and if it doesn't look clean, if it doesn't smell clean, well, they're going to probably talk about you. So let's hire Zero Res. Some people hire a deal of the day carpet cleaner. That's not a good thing because it's going to come back to haunt you. Zero Res are professionals, and let's face it, there's no license required to be a professional carpet cleaner. But Zero Res, they're professionals because they've done this for so long. They have a great process. They have a 4.9 rating on Google with over 5,000 reviews, and the Zero Res Gotta Love It guarantee makes it easy to get what you pay for. So if you need those carpets cleaned, the upholstery cleaned, the area rugs, the vinyl floors, call Zero Res. Get a great offer. 3 rooms, Zero Resified, starting at $129. You can take $50 off your air duct cleaning this month. Call 474-2020 or go online to ZeroResSTL.com. You spell backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 54 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Brian Kilmeade is coming back to St. Louis with his new book. Join us Friday, December 1st for an evening of drinks, dinner, and discussion at Brookdale Farms. Start your holiday season in style. Get tickets at 971talk.com/events. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
No colors anymore, I want them to turn black.
Her testimony hurt her father. She threw him under the bus. She did not defend these financial statements. She said she didn't prepare them, she didn't review them, and she didn't approve them. So if he was looking to her for help, he didn't get it. There were a lot of I don't knows and I don't remembers to protect herself.
We the people of the United States,
More perfect.
in order to form a more perfect union,
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
Well, it's another day and another legal challenge, and it seems like a kangaroo court, and Hans is here to try to straighten everything out for us. Hans, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you here.
Well, thanks for having me.
You know, when I'm watching, I took Monday off. I was gone over the weekend at a volleyball tournament with my daughter and just wanted to regroup on Monday. So I had Fox News in the background, and I was listening as Alina Habba came out. I think President Trump himself walked out from the courtroom, and they were just talking about the zoo that this trial actually has been. And it's my understanding, and this is why I need you to kind of iron out these wrinkles for me. It's my understanding that we're really in the what kind of penalty are we assessing phase of this trial. Is he already been found guilty of sorts in this fraud case in New York?
Yeah, the judge made that decision before the trial ever started. And what does that tell you about this judge, that he made up his mind before he had actually even heard from any of the witnesses in the trial itself? So, yes, what this trial is about is simply what the damages are going to be. And the law, the terrible law under which they have sued, basically gives the judge, he can do almost anything he wants under the statute. He can take away all the business licenses of Donald Trump and his businesses. He can order them to stop operating. He can appoint a trustee who takes over not only running the businesses, but can sell them and dissolve them, and any and all funds, all the money from the sales, profits, anything, he can order that it be given to the state of New York to supposedly be restitution for the fraud that was committed. Although, you got to ask, Andy, well, who was defrauded? Well, certainly not any of the banks who did the deals with Donald Trump, none of whom have complained that they somehow lost money. In fact, they all got paid back and they all made a profit. This is one of the most extreme, frankly, abusive laws I've ever seen. And I think the intent here, the clear intent, is to try to bankrupt Donald Trump by taking away all of his money in New York.
Well, Hans, those are some enormous consequences that could be levied towards, I mean, enormous. In New York, when a case like this has been tried and pursued and found guilty, what have the penalties been for other people who have been tried for these types of charges and found guilty and penalized?
Well, it's been used to some extent, but it's never been abused like this. And, look, what ought to happen if a business is found guilty of engaging in some kind of fraud, well, then you ought to order them to make restitution to the victims who lost money. Well, there are no such victims here. Okay, fine. Impose a civil fine or a penalty. But confiscating their business, taking it away, selling it, dissolving it, basically confiscating all of their wealth. That's what happens in third world banana republics, and yet that's what's going on in New York.
We're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky. He's a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation and our weekly guest here on the Andy Frey Show. When we're listening to, we're seeing Ivanka Trump come in, and my understanding is that she said she didn't really have much to do with the business at that time. And Letitia James keeps reminding everyone that the entire family has enriched themselves on the behaviors of Donald Trump in this business. When she comes out and speaks to a podium full of microphones, and I mean, on the surface, it doesn't seem like if you have a family business, if it's successful and people make money on the family business, that inherently is a wrong thing. How is she trying to bring in Donald Trump's family to make her case stronger in this instance?
Well, you're acting on the assumption that she's a rational prosecutor, a rational attorney general who's pursuing a real case. That's not what's going on here. Keep in mind, she ran on, when she was running for office to be elected attorney, she ran on a promise that she was going to get Donald Trump, that she was going to look at everything he did and she was going to get him. And to her, the fact that you are related to Donald Trump, that means you're guilty. And she can come after you just for that. I mean, those press conferences in which he says that prove just how warped her view is. Look, everything she's doing, I think, quite frankly, is unethical, is unprofessional, it's abusive, and yet it's going forward. This judge also has shown his bias throughout this case, even issuing gag orders, telling Donald Trump when he was testifying to defend himself that, well, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I mean, what does that tell you about this judge and his bias? I think the only question here is going to be, does he confiscate every single dollar that the Trump family has in New York, or does he leave them anything? That's what this is all about. They're trying to financially bankrupt Donald Trump so that he can no longer run for office or be a political figure in the country. That's what this is all about.
Yeah, this is third world stuff. Hans von Spakovsky with us right now. Do you expect the appeal process on something like this to be rapid?
Yeah, I would hope so. I would hope that the courts would act quickly because of the very fact that Donald Trump is a candidate, and the public ought to know what the final end result of this is going to be before they go into a polling booth to vote.
You know, everywhere Donald Trump turns, there's a legal challenge against him. And there was one in Minnesota, efforts to try to keep Donald Trump, again, out of the Oval Office. There was a result in Minnesota. They were working, as I understand it, to keep him off the ballot. What happened there?
Just yesterday, the Minnesota State Supreme Court dismissed a lawsuit that had been filed once again by the radical left saying, you should not allow Donald Trump to be on the ballot for next year's presidential Republican primary in Minnesota because he participated in an insurrection on January 6th. Well, the Minnesota Supreme Court yesterday said, no, we're dismissing this case. The Republican Party has the full legal authority to decide who their nominee is going to be, and we're not going to interfere with that. Now, in some ways, this is an interim solution because what will happen is if Donald Trump wins the primary next year, well, then they will refile this lawsuit and they'll try to get him off the general ballot for the November election.
So you said it was the Minnesota Supreme Court that ruled on this?
Yeah.
Is that a Trump favoring Supreme Court that made that decision?
No. No, it is not. Minnesota has a very liberal state Supreme Court. But look, this is one of only multiple suits. There's a trial going on in Colorado trying to do the same thing. Lawsuits also been filed in Michigan, in Arizona. They're doing this all over the country because what's happening here is the left doesn't want you to be able to vote for Donald Trump and potentially elect him. So one, they're trying to file criminal prosecutions against him. In New York, they're trying to basically bankrupt him and get rid of all of his wealth. And they have this third leg of trying to ensure that he isn't even on the ballot. It's political and legal warfare like I don't think we've ever seen in our country.
Last question before we let you go. We're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky, the Senior Legal Fellow at the Heritage Foundation. With the legal challenges and that, as I referred to it a little bit earlier in the show, this gauntlet that Donald Trump will have to traverse between now and 362 days when the actual election happens. What do you think do you expect him to be able to navigate these days ahead and be able to come out on top? Or do you fear understanding the legalities that he is up against, that the challenge might be too great for him to be able to effectively campaign and win the presidency?
Well, I tell you, I don't know how he can get it done. I mean, defending himself in criminal cases, defending him in a biased civil case that's trying to take away all his money, and then also fighting attempts to get him off the ballot in states all over the country, while at the same time trying to campaign. I mean, if you cloned him into 4 additional people, I'm not sure how he could, from a practical standpoint, do all of that.
Hans, if we cloned him, they'd find charges on the new clones, too. They'd bring that many more charges against him. They'd have to find more courts in the country to tie up all of his time. Hans, we appreciate you. Thank you for being with us today. We look forward to talking to you next week.
Sure thing. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. The Senior Legal Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, a DOJ lawyer, former FEC Commissioner, Hans von Spakovsky. Quick break. When we come back, we're going to hear about the Vegas odds on the top 10 Republican VPs from Ryan Wiggins and Wiggins America. The YouTube live chat poll: should Republicans continue to campaign to make abortion illegal? Yes or no? And for sure, we want to know why you think the way you think on this poll. Leave a comment, leave a vote. We'll be back with Wiggins America.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow.
I look inside myself and see my heart is black. I see my red door, I must have it painted black.
Michael's Flooring Outlet is online at igotfloored.com. That's their website, igotfloored.com. They're located in 3 locations across the St. Louis area, welcoming all the bi-state shoppers this holiday season to save on your flooring purchase with Michael's Flooring Outlet. Visit them in St. Charles County on Main Street in Old Town St. Peters at Mid Rivers and Highway 70, or in West County on Olive Boulevard, just a mile off of 270 West on Olive. You can also check them out at their location in Dardine Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet is committed for decades now as a family-owned and operated business here in St. Louis to your customer satisfaction. Now, customer satisfaction is always easier to attain when you have great quality products at a really great value. So they kind of have 2 steps in the right direction there. But when they take their sales staff and they help make sure that you get to the flooring purchase that you have been seeking out, that you're comfortable and confident in your purchase, that's the goal at Michael's Flooring Outlet. And all you got to do is go online. You can request an estimate on their website. You can see some of their products that are available too. They'd love to see you this holiday season. Tell them Andy sent you. Go online to igotfloored.com.
Candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from tax lien code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Have you ever wondered how America's most successful people build their wealth? By investing in tax liens. And you can too. The Tax Lien Code Masterclass is coming right here to St. Louis, where you'll have the opportunity to learn the same simple blueprint that tax lien investor Brian Peterson and his partners have used to purchase over $40 million in tax liens. With tax lien investing, you can earn government-secured double-digit returns on your investment, as high as 30%. And that's just the beginning. Listen, if you've ever been interested in real estate investing but weren't sure how to get started, this is your chance. No prior experience needed. For 2 free tickets to the 2-hour Tax Lien Code Masterclass right here in St. Louis, text EARN to 26022. Hurry, with high demand, seats will fill up. Text EARN to 26022. Get 2 free tickets now. Text EARN to 26022.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
STL Today is named Under Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm. We'll continue to make a difference, one case at a time.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
Hey, Bernie Federico here. Over the years, you've heard me talk about Lakeside Renovation and Design. My friends Matt and Dan have been in the business for over 25 years and have done everything on my home, from James Hardy siding, Infinity from Marvin Windows, and even a couple of room additions. These guys are great, and you can trust them with your home. Check out their website to see for yourself all the beautiful work they've done. You can find them online at lakesidерenovationanddesign.com. Be sure to ask about their unbelievable financing options. Lakeside Renovation and Design.
Today's YouTube live chat poll is: should the Republicans continue to campaign to make abortion illegal? Yes or no? Those are your 2 options. Yes or no to that question. Let us know what you think, how you would answer that, and leave us a comment as to why you would answer the way that you do in the YouTube live chat poll. It is 12:45. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
What's happening now is happening here, and we're talking about it on St. Louis's home for conservative talk, 97.1 FM Talk.
Light shine bright everywhere we go. Music for the people, making music for the people. Light shine bright everywhere we go. Light shine bright everywhere we go.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Making music for the people. I wanna magnify your light. I wanna reflect the sun. lovers by the millions. This is the only world we know, and for now this rental's our home. If we gon' be a reflection, gotta make this dirt rock glow. Just so you know.
Light shine bright everywhere we go. Music for the people to illuminate the show. Light shine bright everywhere we go. Music for the people, making music for the people. Light shine bright everywhere we go. Music for the people to illuminate
Come on,
the
Rockmouth.
show. Light shine bright everywhere we go. Music for the people, Jesus, music for the people.
All right. I don't know why Rockmouth was so bashful today.
It's just weird singing
nervous.
to yourself.
Can I tell you a quick story before Wiggins America?
When you've heard yourself and then you've heard yourself through processing and stuff, it's weird to come in raw like that. Yeah.
Sometimes we can't even tell that you've been processed.
I know. That's why you got to back off the mic a little bit and let the processing take over.
I'm trying to buy a car.
Yeah.
Working with Cassins. I'm going to try to buy a car from Cassins.
Of course.
There's this nice gentleman, salesman there named Evan. And he called me yesterday because we test drove a car last night. He called me last night, and I was like, "Hey, Evan, how's it going?" He goes, "Listen to a little bit of the show today." I go,
I think I know where this is
I
going.
go, uh-oh. I go, it really depends on when you tuned in.
Yeah.
He goes, "I heard Ryan was wearing Daisy Dukes."
No, that's not what you take away from yesterday's show.
That's what he did. And I was like, I'm going to be honest. We talked a little bit about it. I think he really thought you were wearing Daisy Dukes.
That's what I mean. I walk into the studio. I have something prepared.
I don't know
and
what
then
you're
it
talking about.
just takes this turn. I don't know where it's going. And then a lot of times,
Yeah,
there's
I'm
this
the agent
phrase.
of chaos
You are.
here.
So a lot of times, what happens is they have this phrase in radio called "support the on-air reality." So if suddenly
I have a
Annie
degree,
says,
and I have never heard of that phrase.
Annie says, "Well, you're wearing Daisy Dukes, right?" You got to just go, "Well, yeah, of course I am."
That's exactly what Brad would do.
And then you got to add to the story.
Yep.
Just like it's an improv comedy.
In Ryan's defense, I don't have a degree in radio, and I didn't know that's a thing I'm supposed to do.
Well, with improv, it's always yes and.
I can't handle two of you. We are just fine the way we are.
So
I was
I had
glad
to
it got
add on.
chillier
I
outside,
thought it was
though.
going to be Hulk Hogan. I was all ready for him to say, I heard Hulkamaniac was on the show.
No, we had to get straight to the business of the conversation. So we just basically said Daisy Dukes, and I was like, yep, and we just moved on.
Bit of a disappointment.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins!
I was not disappointed at all.
I was.
That was
You
a
probably
great,
got me to spend a little extra money.
That was great radio.
You want this warranty? I'll take two.
I'm disappointed that yesterday the camera was only waist up. Viewership would have gone up. Today's
Nothing
topic.
bad.
Today's topic is the Vegas odds on who is going to be the Republican nominee for vice president. Now, I'm assuming as I read this that most people are thinking, who is Trump going to pick? Although the odds don't specify that. It really could be anybody picking.
It
this
dramatically
vice
makes a
president.
difference, in my opinion, if it's Trump or not Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so it's not. These odds are not dependent on whether or not it's Trump.
Which, I mean, I don't really understand how betting works. And I don't need to understand it because I'd probably do it a lot if I did.
I know.
I really like poker. I really like to do that. And I'm pretty good at it. And I don't need to know I don't need to know the function of betting.
Would you ever be in one of those celebrity poker tournaments?
I'm not a celebrity that could be in a poker tournament, but I would love to play in a poker tournament.
Would you wear sunglasses and a visor?
I would wear I would wear sunglasses.
Would you be your personality in a poker tournament like that? Or would
Excuse me, what?
Would you be focused on the game? Because a lot of these celebrities, when they play the game, they're completely different. They're so into the game that you forget that they're even a character.
I don't really know what you mean by would you be your personality, but I think Brad might vouch for me that who I am here is pretty much just, this is it.
Yep. This is it.
So
I don't like the way Brad's saying that.
I'm just going with the reality of radio.
See? Thank you. Support the on-air reality. She said, that's who I am. So you go, yep, that's just who she is.
I mean, I don't know that there's much difference. Is there?
I'm just saying.
Am I wrong?
No,
I'm just
you're
saying,
the same person.
I was going to say, maybe we need to have a moment
when
here.
a
and I
big
need to
star
come to...
is on a late night show, they're doing their act a lot of times, or they're promoting a movie or whatever, they're on. When they're doing those poker games, it's almost as if they're not, they forget they're on TV and they don't do anything other than they're trying to win the game.
I have zero sense of celebrity that even understands how to do that. I would just want to win poker.
You would be locked in. I that's what I thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the only difference that I see in Annie from on air to off air is the locked in part. She's a little less locked in when she's off air because she's not at her job, which I would say is probably true for pretty much anybody who's on their job.
Yeah.
So, except for me, right?
No, you're never locked
No,
in.
we're just waiting for you to get locked in once.
So,
like to Wiggins America, which we haven't talked about much.
So Wiggins America is the top 10, like these Vegas odds. Oddschecker.com is who I'm using, although there's a couple of them, who have the top 10 vice presidential nominees. Now, when you read these, they look like, well, this is probably who Trump's thinking, but it could be anybody. So I'll start from the bottom. Now, if you put $100 down on...
Don't tell me how it works.
Okay. If you were to place a bet at a casino on Tulsi Gabbard, you might make back $4,100 if she is the nominee. Now, they don't have to win.
You make less money back if the odds are greater that they are the one.
Yeah, if you put $100 down on Tulsi Gabbard right now.
Tulsi Gabbard is I think Tulsi Gabbard is absolutely in the conversation with Donald Trump and nowhere near the conversation with anyone else.
I think you're right. That's actually what most of this list looks like to me. Now, there's a couple names on here that I was surprised to see, but makes sense once you think about them. One of those is J.D. Vance.
Walrus wants you to do this like Casey Kasem, counting down the top 10.
I just want to hear Wiggins Casey Kasem.
I do too. Man, I used to listen to that dude.
Oh,
you can still listen to that dude.
Do you remember when you found out he was the voice of Shaggy?
I do.
Oh, my God.
Are you talking about the singer or the...
No.
Yeah, that he was the singer Shaggy.
Yeah.
Doing the Humpty dance or whatever.
No.
Humpty dance.
That's not it.
What does Shaggy do?
Shaggy.
Because I got high?
No, Shaggy is like the Jamaican guy, isn't he?
Now I got to look up Shaggy.
You can't in the middle of your segment.
He's the it wasn't me guy.
Yeah.
Shaggy.
On the counter,
I missed a bombastic. That's
Yes.
That's not the Humpty dance.
Well, it's in that genre.
Casey Kasem. And scene.
And scene. So what do you think about J.D. Vance as far as that conversation goes? Do you think that he is a contender for VP?
I don't think so, because I think they need him in Ohio in the Senate too much. That's too close of a call.
Yeah, I do too. I don't necessarily. He's not a good bet to me, but he is number 9 on those lists.
Is Trump going to win Ohio?
Yeah.
Then that is not worth the price of admission. Although we did take and make Secretary of State Jeff Sessions out of Alabama.
Well, is Trump going to win Indiana?
Yes.
I mean, that's where Pence was from.
Red candidate there.
Yeah.
I know, but Pence had conservative bona fides that Trump didn't in 2016.
Yeah.
We're beyond that.
Right.
We don't need a vice president to define the ticket.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders. That's a name I had not thought about at all until I saw this list.
Oh, yeah. I think that's high on the list.
I just don't see her wanting to be a national political figure as much. I think she likes being the governor of Arkansas.
I don't know that she doesn't want that national recognition, but I would say that she is as connected to Donald Trump as she needs to be and successful on her own. And if I were she, I would want to keep it that way.
Yeah, exactly. How about Tudor Dixon? She's above Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Yeah, Michigan, right?
Former Republican nominee
Makes
for
a lot of
Michigan
sense.
governor.
Yeah.
She lost, but she does have kind of all the
Yeah, but you only need
credentials.
a couple 10,000 votes in Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She makes sense. I had not thought about her either. Here's another one I hadn't
Who
thought
did
about.
you think about?
Well, the
You?
top ones on the list. Yeah.
What about me?
I was thinking about Shaggy.
Which one?
Elise Stefanik. She's another one that what makes perfect sense.
Why?
She seems to be that kind of, a lot of these are women, if you've noticed, and that's where people are thinking
Outside
he's
of
going to
that,
pick.
why?
Not because she's from New York, but she seems to be a little bit more, I don't know, moderately positioned. I don't know about her positions, but like in the minds of voters, she seems to be
more moderately positioned. I don't know what her position is.
I don't know where. I'm trying to come up with the right word.
Moderate is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, but I can't tell you what her moderate positions are. She just seems to be
I
presented
don't know
that way.
I don't know what she brings to the ticket that you lose from her representation out of New York.
How about
But
Carrie Lake?
I like Lisa. Oh, God. Just quit now.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's Carrie Lake's number
No,
5.
You can't leave.
Yeah, you have to stay in the segment.
You
'cause
can't
have to
leave me here
respond-
with him.
You have to respond now to Tim Scott and Vivek Ramaswamy.
Tim Scott, yes. Very
Both
smart
of them
move.
are numbers 3 and 4. That really surprises me.
Tim Scott is probably the smartest pick.
Yeah, I would say so.
Tim Scott is so incredibly likable. I do not want him to be the president, but I'm kind of cheering for him.
Yeah.
I would be so happy for him
Yeah, I know what you mean.
if he got to be the president.
Yeah.
I want to see it happen. I have no problem. Like, again, I cannot stress enough. Every one of these candidates on the Republican side of the aisle that are running, that are in it, are infinitely better. If they would have been in charge for the last 4 years, good grief, we'd be in such a different position right now.
Top 2, any guesses? Probably know who they are.
I'm who?
Nikki Haley,
Oh.
Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem right now, number 1. That actually flipped after last night. Nikki Haley was number 1. I don't know why that
Nikki Haley
flipped.
lost position.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Because she attacked Donald Trump,
I guess that would be it.
or maybe because she's more likely to be the president.
I think the hawkish position hurts her with Trump's base.
Maybe. Yeah, but those are the top 2. And I would have to agree. Nikki Haley, to me, is still, if I had to actually bet on this, she's my pick.
You want to stay around and talk about the debate last night?
Yeah, I do.
Did you watch it?
It
That's a no.
sort of.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's going to take a little explanation.
File this under. I think her positions are pretty moderate. I don't know what they are.
No.
Yes.
When I explain, you're going to go, oh,
Go put your
okay.
Daisy Dukes back on. It's
Nah.
for the people.
I'm waiting for my part. It's not going to happen before 50.
Light shine bright.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
You need to get your conceal and carry license in Illinois, and you need to go to the place that is going to guide you through this, make you feel comfortable, confident. I know a lot of you are just pretty miffed that you have to go through this process anyway, but hey, it's the rules, and I am encouraging each and every one of you to be an educated and influenced Second Amendment supporter and get your concealed carry license in Illinois. Go to STS Armory. That's STS Armory. That's where I go. My husband goes. I have many family members that go there and friends as well. You can trust Katie and Jesse with everything from, hi, I've never shot a gun before. I think I've heard something about a FOID card, to I want this very specific gun in this specific caliber, and so on and so forth. They've got you covered everywhere in between, and the education they provide is second to none. 618-931-GUNS. 618-931-GUNS. Gift a conceal and carry class to somebody this holiday season. You can go online to sts-armory.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
4 more attacks on U.S. forces in the Middle East. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The new attacks by Iranian-backed proxies came after U.S. airstrikes on an Iranian warehouse in Syria last night.
It's clear Iran and its proxies are not getting the message or being deterred. U.S. forces just shot down a drone heading toward U.S. troops near Erbil, Iraq.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. There have now been 46 drone and rocket attacks targeting U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria since October 17th. The White White House says Israel agrees to 4-hour daily pauses in Gaza for humanitarian purposes. Israel's defense minister announcing localized pinpoint measures, allowing Palestinian refugees to flee the fighting with Hamas, adding it does not detract from the war fighting. Israel still rejecting talk of a ceasefire without hostages being freed. Someone is sending letters laced with fentanyl and other substances to election offices.
We know that there's been 4 envelopes received out in Washington State, and there's one headed this way towards Fulton County.
Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, the FBI investigating. Close calls at airports lead to a Senate hearing on safety.
Our nation is experiencing an aviation safety crisis.
Commerce Subcommittee on Aviation Safety Chair Senator Tammy Duckworth said the next near miss could be too late to act. NTSB Chairwoman Jennifer Homendy says air travel is up since the pandemic, but there are staffing shortages too,
resulting in mandatory overtime, fatigue, distraction, and less opportunity for meaningful value-added training.
She says fatigue affects pilots as well. Senators were asked to pass an FAA reauthorization bill to help make up for 1,000 fewer air traffic controllers now than there were 10 years ago.
Fox's Gernal Scott. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, you're up next.
Ugh, my throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
At Simply Safe Home Security, your safety is the only thing that matters. That's why you get 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day, because every home deserves to be protected. Right now, get 50% off the whole home security system named the best of 2023 by U.S. News and World Report. Visit simplysafe.com/radio to save big today. Advanced Home Security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The northwest flow is back, and it is out with our summertime air mass. Feels like fall this afternoon. Kind of looks like fall. A mix of clouds and sunshine, maybe a sprinkle or a shower. 59 for the high. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a sprinkle here and there down to 42. Friday, sunny and nice, 62. 35 Friday night. Beautiful fall weekend on the way. Sunshine and right around 60 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Sometimes you have an ear, nose, and throat concern and it creeps up on you and you need to be seen right away. Another reason why Gateway ENT and the doctors at Gateway ENT are waiting for your phone call because they can't wait to see you. Give them a call at 314-843-3828. 314-843-3828. Gateway ENT will work with you to get you in and get you seen and get you assessed right away. They care for children, they care for adults, and their private practice process is what allows them to have a lot more control over where they have to refer you out to if you need to get a scan done or something like that, because they can refer based on what's best for you, not the big system that they're adhered to, because they are, in fact, a private practice. They treat you with kindness. They are gentle with you, and they have seen and been in business for so long that they know what they're doing, and they're ready to help. Call and schedule an appointment today at Gateway ENT, 314-843-3828, 314-843-3828, online at gatewaydrs.com.
How would you like to come home to a bartender who will fix you any cocktail you want? I'll have an old-fashioned.
I'll have a margarita.
Now you can with the Bartesian Home Cocktail Maker. Bartesian is a sleek machine the size of a coffee maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And now, get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever at bartesian.com/sips. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all kinds of individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. The Bartesian makes a wonderful gift for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. Now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever. It's available right now only at bartesian.com/sips. That's BARTESIAN.com/sips for Bartesian's best deal ever. Only at bartesian.com/sips.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
It's Annie Frey, and I'm inviting you to join me and support Jewish Federation's Blue Ribbon campaign. The Blue Ribbon symbolizes support for the safe return of all 240 hostages taken by Hamas terrorists and unites you with people of all religions, races, and nationalities in telling the people of Israel they are not alone. Be part of the movement. Tell Israelis they are not alone. Every dollar donated goes to saving lives and providing support in Israel. Visit jfedstl.org to learn more and donate. jfedstl.org.
Mark Cox here, 97.1 FM Talk is shining a spotlight on our first responders. Listen to my show each day as we feature our heroes and raise awareness for responder rescue. Learn more about how you can give back at 971talk.com/events, sponsored by Budweiser.
I can see clearly now thanks to the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and introducing Samuel Berry. You can too. Call 314-966-5000 or check out youridoc.com. That's youridoc.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
How much do you think that people, first of all, what percentage of people do you think, this is completely based on the science, capital T, capital S, the science, which means absolutely nothing. What percentage of people watched the debate last night? Voting. What percentage of voting people?
Voters? Maybe 10%.
I'm going to say maybe 20. I think it'll be 10% of the Democrats that are really engaged and 10% of the Republicans that are really engaged.
I mean, won't it be around 10 million people or something like that? Isn't that the kind of number that they pull on these things?
Oh, gosh, I'd have to remember what they were getting on the first two to tell you what they did on this one.
Was it 20 million people? I mean,
that doesn't sound wrong.
This many people. It's such a small amount. And then what ends up happening is the people who don't watch it, a la Ryan Wiggins, because he has no personal interest or professional interest in watching the debate last night. What'd you do?
Here's what I did. Got home from practice.
Took you all day to get those Daisy Dukes off.
And
we need some help.
Those are what they call paint on.
Except for the strings.
So those weren't pockets hanging out the bottom.
Those are just veins.
That's right. It's just leftover flesh from the surgeries.
This is where you have to subscribe to the podcast so that you can know what we're talking about, or don't.
Yeah. Oh, those aren't pockets. Those are just flesh flaps.
Ew. What did you do last night? He's just staring off into space. Like he's imagining this.
How can I make this more awkward?
This is literally his thought.
I got home from practice last night, and I think you'll identify with this. I thought this debate is tonight from 8 to 10.
No, I literally said that on the air.
I figured you would relate. So I sat down, and I got the kids to bed, and I thought I can catch the last half of this. Sat down just after 9 o'clock, turned on the debate, and it was over. So I watched all of NBC News' post-debate coverage.
Did you hear homeboy calling him Ramaswamy?
I never heard that.
Oh, my
Because in the post-debate coverage, here's what's funny.
On NBC?
On NBC, and it was their anchors, and they had the candidates on. I think they did not have Ramaswamy on, maybe on purpose.
I never saw him. Did you watch any of the post game?
I did. I didn't see him. I didn't see him.
They didn't talk about him outside the context of him fighting with Nikki Haley. They did not talk about him.
Well,
at
I think
all.
that we should highlight now why that is. And as I said, I tuned in. I think I turned on the TV at 7:19, and I was thinking it was from 8 to 10, and it was from 8 to 10, but that was Eastern. So 7 to 9, our time. So I missed the opening statements, but I did get to consume them afterwards. Now, I'm going to tell you this right from the jump. I think Ramaswamy's super annoying. I can't get past it. That doesn't mean that where his positions on a lot of issues are palatable for me. It just, I mean, it literally completely matters that I just don't like him. There are people who just don't like Chris Christie. There are people who just don't like Ron DeSantis. I just don't like Ramaswamy. And from the very beginning, I was kind of side-eyeing him like, you for real? And I thought that Chris Christie's Chat GPT. I'm like, that's the thing. That's why. You're too slick. You're too good at this. And it made me think to myself, I just don't trust him. And sometimes you get a gut feeling about someone and you're just like, I'm going to ride this out. Maybe I'm wrong. And that gut feeling has never gone away. So I was watching some of his responses last night and I was just super annoyed by him. But then on Twitter, I go and I see his opening statement, and I'm like, oh, my God, dang it, that's fantastic.
It was.
I'm so annoyed by it. Let's listen in.
I think there's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here, and I am upset about what happened last night. We've become a party of losers at the end of the day. It was a cancer in the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. I mean, since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018.
So to interject here, she's sitting in front of him, right? She's watching this debate.
I don't know. Are we sure?
She's there.
Yes.
Okay, because in the post-debate, they debated that.
No. They're talking about in the post-debate, did he go up and say something to her afterwards? And they said, no, that was just somebody that looked like her.
Okay.
Yeah. She's right there.
Okay.
He calling her out. And if you were watching after the Tuesday election results were coming in, people are like, where is freaking Ronna McDaniel? Our friend, Scott Pressler, who uses his own vehicle to drive around the country and walk up to people's doors and register them to vote Republican, asks her every day on Twitter for a conversation. And he's like, if you go to Scott Pressler's Twitter right now, go retweet his last tweet on this. He's like, this is day 208 of me asking Ronna. Like, take the freaking conversation. Scott Pressler is the nicest guy on the planet. And he is a workhorse because he simply cares. Like, a lot of me is going, why are you doing this? This is too great. Why are more people not doing this? Because it seems like a lot of work. He just puts in the work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people calling out Ronna McDaniel, and I agree with them. What is she doing? She does not have the results. She's Mitt Romney's niece. She came out of Michigan, is my recollection. And a lot of people are like, oh, Donald Trump really stood by her, I think in 2018, because he was very supportive of her. Well, that's after he won in 2016. She ain't winning since. We got problems. And Ronna McDaniel is not fixing them. And here's Vivek Ramaswamy in his opening statement going, you there are the problem. At least first, to Ronna McDaniel.
2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you.
This is hot.
Yes. And if you had any questions about it, last night, I think it was right before the debate when she was delivering a welcome to people, Frank freaking Luntz is like, Ronna McDaniel is the Republican Party's secret weapon. And I'm like, is she the Democrat Party's secret weapon? Frank Luntz, you goon.
And frankly, look, the people there cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party.
So he says that we should have Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk, and who's the third one?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. And we'd have, we would not watch that debate. It would be massive.
Yes.
They've announced that Megyn Kelly is doing the next debate.
Ooh.
I'm here for that.
Yes.
I want to see it. I want to see her prosecute these people. But she's now Vivek is on stage calling out the Republican National Committee for not having better moderators. And you might think that's where it ends.
You think the Democrats, we've got Kristen Welker here.
Oh!
You think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate?
Do you just imagine Greg Gutfeld's going, hey!
Oh, hey now.
No, I think he's sitting there going, yeah, I'd like to do that
yeah.
debate.
Do you think the Democrats would hire Greg
Not a
Gutfeld?
chance.
No way. It's a great point. It's a great point.
Greg Gutfeld's going, I'm the Kristen Welker?
Yes. Yes, you are, Greg.
They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
No, Mr. Ross.
And your time's up, sir.
We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
and they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up.
Accountability.
Let me turn to Governor.
Fire. Man.
I'd watch that if
What?
Alicia Keys
What?
hosted the debate.
What kind of scorched earth was that? What
That
did he
was-
leave out?
That was fully planned. It was his opening remark. He came out just swinging at everybody.
Yeah, that Nick Schroer blowtorch. Now Nick's going, hey.
He probably likes it too.
Listen, about the blowtorch thing, I don't know anything about that story, but I just saw the blowback happening, and I'm like, ooh, somebody got under the skin. Do you like that Ramaswamy started the night like that?
Yeah, that's why he's there. I mean, that is his role, is to do that.
Yes, I'm a big fan of that opening statement. I saw that and I was like, oh, here we go. This is going to be a great debate.
Yeah, your eyebrows go up and they don't go back down.
Uh-huh. Yeah, when you see people...
You're just waiting for it to go, and you, Ryan Wiggins.
that he's calling out in the room.
Who's still here?
The power brokers in the room. And he's looking them... Kristen Welker, he's literally looking them in the eye.
What do you think she felt in that moment?
Probably, what am I supposed to do right now? And also, how do I keep my Democrat credentials? Because...
Start crying.
Either start crying or how do I fight back? And she didn't really do either one of them, which is probably the right move.
You will not be part of the post-game coverage on NBC.
Yeah. Let me make a quick phone call.
Yeah. Somebody get me a PA right now. I have demands. Do you like that he did it?
I do. I like that he did it. That's something that needs to be said. I cannot think of a better candidate on that platform to say it. I don't think that's something that Christie would say, even though that's something Christie could deliver.
No, Christie he's seen on those networks.
Yeah. Tim Scott doesn't have the fire that Ramaswamy has to say something like that. Nikki Haley probably not going to call out the networks because she goes on them, and the same thing with Ron DeSantis.
I think Nikki Haley would do it, but I think Nikki Haley has more to lose. What is the percentage chance that Vivek Ramaswamy is the Republican nominee?
Yeah,
Ryan?
0%.
0% chance.
Yeah, there's no way.
0's a pretty good number. 0.01. I'll give him a little bit of a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying there's not. I don't think there's any chance he's the nominee.
He's the Trump proxy on that stage. He's the fill-in for Donald Trump.
There was a panel, I think it was NBC, was doing a panel afterwards, and they had a couple of guys sitting kind of in the foreground of the shot. They were just going to ask, I don't know why there are all these diners, but it's like, we can't do the debate in that city. They don't have any diners. You got to go to a place that has diners and people in it that wear waist-high aprons. But this guy who was sitting there in the foreground had on a Ramaswamy T-shirt and a Donald Trump hat. And I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
I know. I get it. You're not voting for him. You're voting against, you're supporting Ramaswamy to support Donald Trump.
Did you watch all the post coverage too?
I watched some of it.
Because I know the diner you're talking about. They went to that diner like 5 times.
Yeah.
And the guy, every time they'd go back to that guy and, I'm going to talk to so-and-so now. And there was once that he goes to a woman who's a little older, and you can tell about 3 words in, he goes, oh, man, this was a mistake. Because she was going to take all of her time, and she did.
Well, we're going to take a quick break right now. We're going to continue this conversation later in the show, but Alan Dershowitz is joining us on the Annie Frey Show when we return, and we're going to talk about that issue that needs to stay at the forefront of our minds, and it's how we are reacting in this country culturally to the onslaught of violence against Jews in Israel, but Jews here as well. Alan Dershowitz is going to talk to us about what is taking place in our country culturally, and his book, War Against the Jews, How to End Hamas Barbarism. It's available December 5th, and Alan Dershowitz is available on the Annie Frey Show when we return. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
TheDiamondShop.net. Make sure you go to visit their website, TheDiamondShop.net, and learn about the event that is coming up here. It's going to be a girls' night out. You're not going to want to miss this. These are always the most fun to be able to attend because the way that they set up these events is completely to give you the best possible experience shopping. You don't have to go in there and buy anything, but I could completely understand why you would want to. When you go to Thursday, November 16th, between 5:30 and 7:30 p.m., to enjoy a girls' night out, you are going to enjoy an evening of fun, delicious drinks, unbeatable steals you're not going to want to miss, and the Diamond Shop is going to send your wish list that you're going to curate while you're there at the Diamond Shop to your special person so that they can know the perfect gift to get you this holiday season. You'll get a gift that you love, and it'll be easy for them to purchase. The Diamond Shop has jewelry specials all night long, including 50% off all diamond jewelry. It's Girls Night Out, November 16th at the Diamond Shop at 12 North Central in Clayton at 314-721-2210. That's 314-721-2210. Visit them on Thursday, November 16th, online at thediamondshop.net.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
How would you like to make no mortgage payments until next year? Are you tired of making minimum payments on high-interest credit cards? Is student loan repayment giving you the blues? Your home equity is at an all-time high. Use that equity to save hundreds every month. Call 314-567-GOLD now and give yourself a payment break. That's 314-567-GOLD. Or visit goldenoaklending.com. NMLS 114937.
Honey, can you swing by the post office and grab some stamps?
Done.
And drop off these packages?
Sure thing, honey.
Ooh, and get the tracking info.
Got it.
But you haven't moved.
I know.
How great is that?
This holiday season, the Postal Service is closer than ever with convenient ship-from-home services like label printing, free package pickup, and delivery notifications. You can send more holiday joy from the comfort of home. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Ship from home at USPS.com/holidayjoy.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness 101 for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness 101. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
If you're starting to plan that holiday party, get on the schedule now for Grill Master Tony. You know, his holiday party schedule's starting to fill up. Get on the calendar. He does full service catering as well as drop-off service for any size corporate or house party. The brisket, the pulled pork, the ribs, and all the sides. Tony will bring the party to you. You're going to appreciate what he does and the delicious food. Your friends are going to love it. Get online today and order at grillmastertony.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Did the third presidential debate change any minds? Did anyone watch it? We'll talk about it Thursday afternoon.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. The Mark Reardon Show on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
This could take all night. Think I need a devil to help me get things right. Hook me up a new revolution. 'Cause this one is a lie.
I mean, many of my colleagues know I have an open door policy. They can come and talk to me about this, and they know the conversation will lead and me urging them to please save as many lives as possible, and that means calling for a ceasefire. Again, my colleagues know where my heart is, and they know that I have been pushing from day one of coexistence, of the days where both my grandparents, when they were born there, that there was coexistence among all faiths, living in peace. And, you know, much of what I'm seeing is distortion of my words, also in trying to silence my residents who have been calling from the beginning of freedom from inequality, freedom from the occupation, freedom from the violence.
So that is the now censured Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib for her anti-Semitic remarks. The Congress bipartisan House of Representatives came together to censure her. And you just got to ask, what kind of culture exists in the United States of America that in the wake of what we have seen Hamas do to Israel, how can somebody like Rashida Tlaib rise to the level of representation and power in the United States government as she has? Well, we are welcoming Alan Dershowitz to the Annie Frey Show here. He's a professor emeritus at Harvard Law. He is also an author and a civil rights attorney. His latest book is War Against the Jews, How to End Hamas Barbarism. Mr. Dershowitz, thank you so much for the time today. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
Well, thank you, and I'm glad you put on the statements of Congresswoman Tlaib. She has a long history of anti-Semitic outbursts, and unfortunately, she represents her constituents in a district that is heavily anti-Israel, heavily pro-Hamas, and I have to tell you about a ceasefire. A ceasefire would cause more deaths than Israel destroying Hamas. If there were a ceasefire and Israel could not destroy Hamas, Hamas has already said what they would do. They would attack Israel again and again and again and kill more and more Israeli civilians. Israel would then respond, and they would use human shields, put babies and children in harm's way, and the end result would be many more lives. So the best way to save lives is absolutely no ceasefire, and that is the complete and total victory of Israel over Hamas, the same way it saved lives for the United States to have total victory over Germany and over Japan. You know, the dropping of the atomic bomb saved lives. 100,000 people were killed, yes, but many, many more hundreds of thousands would have been killed if the United States Armed Forces, Marines, had to invade the islands of Japan. So sometimes you have to take actions that will result in the taking of life to save life. This is particularly true when the taking of lives results from Hamas using these babies, these children, these women as human shields in order to get Israel to kill them so that they can parade them in front of TV cameras. They have a name for it. They call it the CNN strategy. I call it the dead baby strategy. The strategy has worked. They kill Israelis. They know Israel has to respond. They put their fighters and their rockets in civilian areas, knowing that there'll be some civilian casualties, far less than in any other wars. But then they parade these babies in front of the TV cameras, and the world turns against Israel, and Hamas wins the publicity war, and then they do it again and again and again. So you want to save lives, destroy Hamas.
Man, Alan Dershowitz speaking with us right now. He is a professor emeritus at Harvard Law and an author. His latest book, War Against the Jews, How to End Hamas Barbarism. One of the things that Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib there said when she was trying to, I guess, explain her words, not excuse her words because she doesn't seem to want to retract any of them. She refers to a time when she was living there where there was a coexistence of all faiths living in peace. How is Rashida Tlaib in Congress? How do you get to be in Congress and still believe that there is some sort of coexistence of these two parties with all faiths living in peace? I mean, there was a ceasefire before October 7th, and Hamas is the one who broke that.
And they have broken every ceasefire that has been arranged. And, you know, the idea that Hamas wants peace, just read their charter. They would not be satisfied, even if Israel ended, as they did end, the occupation of Gaza, even if they ended the occupation of the West Bank, because Hamas and Rashida Tlaib believe that all of Israel is occupied territory, that Tel Aviv is occupied, that the areas of Sderot and these kibbutzim where these innocent people were slaughtered, she believes they're occupied territory. So, you know, it's a myth that you can ever live in peace with Hamas. Hamas has to be destroyed. It's like saying that the French had to live in peace with the Nazi occupation of Paris. Nazism was a complete evil, and so is Hamas. And evil has to be destroyed, and you don't have ceasefires with evil. Now, if the Hamas wants to trade a brief ceasefire for the return of all the hostages, that's something Israel might very well want to consider. But to get a ceasefire without any quid pro quo, without any return of hostages, no, of course not. That would just encourage Hamas to kill more and more and more civilians and use more and more and more of their civilians as human shields.
We're speaking with Alan Dershowitz about his book, War Against the Jews, How to End Hamas Barbarism. You made a statement there about how Congresswoman Tlaib and Hamas agree, and then you kind of explained what their agreement is. You don't become a congressional representative without having some popularity in your beliefs. And these are not new beliefs that Tlaib is articulating now that have gotten her censured in the House of Representatives. What kind of culture has existed under the surface in the United States of America that is now spoiling out into the open in the midst of this Hamas attack on Israel?
Yeah, and, you know, you understand how she can get elected to Congress, but what is harder to understand is how 33 groups of Harvard students, people I taught for 50 years at Harvard, could, on the day after these massacres, rapes, beheadings were revealed, write a statement saying Israel was entirely responsible for all these rapes. This comes from Harvard students, from students at major universities. And so the problem goes deeper than Tlaib and goes deeper than Congress. It goes to our future, because if this is what the 20, 21-year-old students today believe, in 10 years, they're going to be running for Congress.
What I want to ask you about more about these college protests. They're all over the country. You know, I think we often see college kids protesting, and you kind of, on a much lower level, on an issue much simpler than this, think, you know, good for you going out and exercising your First Amendment and being active and passionate about something. But there's so much misinformation and hate that exists in some of these protests that we're seeing. How do we get to this point, and how do we get away from it?
Well, first of all, there hasn't been a single pro-Palestine protest. That's what the media calls it, pro-Palestine. I haven't seen a single sign calling for a two-state solution. These are all anti-Israel, pro-Hamas, anti-two-state solution, anti-Palestinian rights. That's what these protests are, and they shouldn't be labeled as pro-Palestinian. If you're pro-Palestinian, as I am, I'm in favor of the two-state solution, then you're anti-Hamas, not pro-Hamas. The Palestinian people have been enslaved, essentially, by Hamas. And, you know, when Palestinian people civilians wanted to go south pursuant to Israel's instructions, they were killed on the way by Hamas soldiers. And it took Israel to rescue the Palestinians and to escort them to safe areas in the south. So if you want to be pro-Palestinian, be on the side of destroying Hamas. That's the most Palestinian thing you can do.
Last question for you. We're speaking with Alan Dershowitz. Sure. He's a professor emeritus at Harvard Law. He's an author. His latest book, War Against the Jews, How to End Hamas Barbarism. You have to have great resolve on what we're going to do as a country, administratively and defensively in and with Israel. And it seems as though the Democrat Party, which is in power in the Oval Office right now, has a very split party on the particular issue of support with Israel. How does the American administration do what they need to do to fortify and strengthen our relationship with Israel under this party that seems to be conflicted?
Well, it's conflicted, but the vast majority of Democrats support Israel. The vast majority of them voted to support Israel when Congress had the vote. Some voted against it. Some stayed home. It is a split party, but it's split more like 80-20 than it is like 50-50. And the important thing is to marginalize the squad, marginalize the extremists. I've made an offer. I've been a Democrat since I voted for, John Kennedy in 1960. I will support any Republican or any other Democrat who runs against any member of the squad or any member of Congress who voted against the support of Israel. And because I think that has to be a bipartisan issue. And I'm hoping that people like Tlaib will be primaried and others in the squad will be primaried, because scratch an anti-Israel person deep enough and you'll find an anti-American person. You'll find somebody who hates Western democracy, who hates the Judeo-Christian tradition, who hates not only Israel and not only Jews, but hates Christians, hates Americans. That's how deep the hatred really goes.
Well, I will tell you, here in St. Louis, where we are, Cori Bush, our representative, and an obnoxious,
she is the worst.
An embarrassing member of the squad.
Worst.
Well,
she is the worst. And I will want to make a pledge here. If anybody wants to primary Cori Bush, if anybody wants to run against her, I will come and campaign personally, contribute, do anything in my power to defeat Cori Bush. She is, of all the squad members, the most bigoted, the most anti-Semitic, the most anti-American, and the most despicable member of Congress there is. She makes Tlaib seem reasonable.
Well, Mr. Dershowitz, I would like to introduce you to a man named Wesley Bell, who has announced that he is running and has a name here in St. Louis, and I'm going to send that clip to him, and you might get a phone call.
Please tell him he can use it any way he wants.
Thank you so much for the time today, Mr. Dershowitz. We appreciate you.
Anytime. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. He's a professor emeritus at Harvard Law. He's a civil rights attorney. You can read his writings at dersh.substack.com. You can follow him on Twitter. Maybe tell him hello from the Annie Frey Show and the Wesley Bell Camp at Alan Dersh. Weird sentences that we never thought we'd be saying here on the Annie Frey Show. He's the author of War Against the Jews, How to End Hamas Barbarism. Brad, I need you to make a phone call to Wesley Bell. You got it?
I'm going to find it. It was like, hey, you'll never believe what I just heard.
He just left the room, and he's getting him on the phone right now. Man, there's something behind that. I love watching Alan Dershowitz I love listening to him. He is a Democrat. He has helped represent Donald Trump. There's just something about being around somebody who's principled, who has their own values, their own principles, and those principles, this is what integrity looks like, folks. They don't match up 100% with anybody else's, because how could your principles possibly? I would really love, going back to the first segment today, for the Republican Party to take note. Because if you have common interests and common goals, you can come together on the things that are common and do amazing things. Or you can only highlight the differences and dwell on them and be very comfortable losing with excuses every time you step in to fight because you already know who you're going to blame. Principles and values. Very refreshing to have here on the Annie Frey Show with Alan Dershowitz. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
The Retirement Advisory Group wants to give you confidence, an exhale, if you will, when it comes to planning and living out your retirement. 314-993-9494. That's the number to call to set up an appointment that'll cost you nothing to learn about how the Retirement Advisory Group is working with people like you who are nearing their retirement and wondering how long everything that you've amassed is going to last you. The Retirement Advisory Group they're experts when it comes to that time in your life. You're in your late 50s and your 60s. You might have even already retired, and you just got these questions, and you see the market might have a downturn, and you're wondering how it's going to affect you. You don't have to fret about it. 314-993-9494. Call 314-993-9494, and you'll be putting yourself on the way to a worry-free retirement. Doesn't that sound nice? They'll be able to show you how much income you'll have in retirement, how long your money is going to last, and put you on the road to confident success. 314-993-9494, or you can find all the information I'm talking about online at retirementkey.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Is your home ready for the holidays? Beat the holiday rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. Get the Mark Reardon special 3-room Zero Res clean starting at $129. You can also get $50 off your air duct cleaning when you call 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
The Capitol Grill is effortlessly arranged and customized for you. Whether it's a private room, an elegant table setting, dry-aged steaks paired with world-class wines, or an intimate party or business reception, make this part of your memorable private dining experience this holiday season. Every private dining room is elegantly appointed and offers seating capacities that range from 12 to 60. For reservations, call the Capitol Grill in Clayton today, 314-725-0930, or visit thecapitolgrill.com.
Big issue on the Annie Frey poll of the day, YouTube live chat poll, is should Republicans continue to campaign to make abortion illegal? Yes or no? Let us know your vote and why in the YouTube live chat. We will discuss the results of that at the end of the show today and probably throughout the show today. 1:43 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Fact-checking the fact-checkers daily. St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Bursting inside us, we cannot contain. Your love will surely come find us like blazing wildfire, singing your name. God of mercy, sweet love of mine, I have surrendered to your design. May this offering stretch across the skies. These hallelujah be multiplied.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Just got done speaking with Alan Dershowitz, and he threw down with Corey Bush, and I thought it was fantastic. I don't know if Wesley Bell's like, I want nothing to do with that because it generates from us.
I know. I thought the same thing.
But we're going to try.
Yeah. Why not?
What does Wesley Bell need to succeed? How much moderation can a Wesley Bell have in a primary where you can get Republicans to vote for you? Corey Bush is a nutcase. And just see our last interview with Alan Dershowitz. I mean, Alan Dershowitz was just talking about the slaughter of Israeli people in Israel by Hamas, which he knows very well. He literally wrote a book on it. But I think his most passionate moment was when I mentioned Corey Bush's name, and he said, she is the worst. And we're like, we know, it's embarrassing. And he said that he would campaign for and support anybody who wants to run against her. And I said, well, Wesley Bell is doing it. And he's like, let's go. I'm like, how about now?
What shocked me is I think he said something to the kin of, Tlaib is a moderate compared to, to Corey Bush.
Don't you feel like there's an amount of really, I can't connect with it, but there's an amount of intellect that Rashida Tlaib has that Corey Bush is just failing at every level. She sounds so stupid. She presents herself in a way that it's like, what are we mad about today? What are we fighting against today? Let's rock and roll. There doesn't seem to be substance. I don't think you probably pulled this. I can't imagine that you would have, but people clipped her tirade on the House floor when she went way over time, and it's important for you to know that Corey Bush doesn't have to follow the rules. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have to. She can do whatever she wants because Corey Bush says so. But she was losing her mind on the floor in defense of Rashida Tlaib when they were going to censure her, and somebody clipped out all of her breaths and made it. It was just like,
I think I can get that.
And then she's like, racist. Then some more breaths, and it's just like, it's really all I hear when I hear anyway. I prefer this version, even though the breathy mouth noises I don't love them.
I don't want to say like you're saying the quiet part out loud, but you're saying what I think people have thought and maybe never thought to say, which is that there are some radical progressives and even squad members who, when you hear them, you go, yeah, you know what you're talking about. You're just way off. And then you hear others within that same category who clearly don't seem to know even what they're talking about. They're just angry and loud, and they take their talking points of the day and they just run with it. And if you question them, they don't even really know how to answer because they don't know what they're talking about.
I find it interesting. I don't know if I've just had a successful block, but you don't really hear a lot from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez these
Not
days.
right now.
She's kind of like, I'm gonna let you take this one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's probably because of the backgrounds of Tlaib and Omar. You know, they probably...
It's not her moment.
Exactly.
Well, what are you looking up? You got it?
I think I got it. I put it in the drive.
Okay. You guys want to hear it? Yeah, it's because he's the best. You ready? You want to know what the clip is called? Corey Bush breathing montage.
Black people, the insurrection racism.
I mean, that's a campaign commercial for a Democrat. Like, she got my vote.
She didn't mention abortion.
I don't know if they have to.
They will in 2024.
Glad you brought it up. The YouTube live chat poll for today is, should Republicans continue to campaign to make abortion illegal, yes or no? Nikki Haley had an amazing response on this. Do we have that clip?
I don't.
She responds in a way that says, we maybe have 45 senators. I mean, it was the best thing she said all night. And that's what everybody was talking about after the thing was over. Like, Nikki Haley, 100% sticks the landing on abortion. We have maybe 45 pro-life senators. No president is going to get elected and be able to outlaw or ban abortion without it being passed through Congress. And you'd need 60 senators to vote in favor of it. It's not happening. And, you know, the idea of us needing to meet women where they are instead of these ballot measures, Ron DeSantis made comments about that as well. And the idea that we needed to be in a position to meet women where they are and move away from this version of what the Republican Party is pursuing is key. And they all said the same thing when they started talking, like, I'm as pro-life as it gets. Like, I am unequivocally pro-life, but. And a lot of them were saying the people have spoken and that the decision is now outside of the hands of activist judges in the Supreme Court when Roe v. Wade was overturned. Roe v. Wade wasn't overturned because making abortion permissible under Roe was a legal thing to do. There were activist judges who did that around the system that the Constitution belies. And so the Supreme Court said that was not the correct decision, and we're overturning it, and we're giving the decision back to the states. And look at Ohio, look at Illinois, look at some of these blue states that are New Jersey. Chris Christie talked about it last night. He said he's pro-life, but in New Jersey you can get an abortion up to 9 months, and he thinks it's reprehensible. It is. You can still be 100% pro-life and still be working to save the lives of these babies and save the lives of the mothers who choose to have these babies, and stop going to the polls, allowing every other issue that needs to be addressed to be answered by whether or not people are the single issue on abortion, pro or against. What's your response on this one, Brian?
I'm actually going to say no, but just for this moment, because I think right now, no pun intended, but like the GOP basically needs to stop the bleeding on this issue before you can't really like treat the issue before you've treated it in-house, and they don't know what they're doing. This needs to be solved within the party so that they can figure out what the message is going to be going forward. And I don't think just having a strategy that just says, well, we're just going to try to push as hard as we can is working. I mean, if it were, fine, but it's just not working. So I think right now you almost have to step back from the issue, figure out how to reapproach it, and then go from there.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, listening to Nikki Haley's answer, and essentially what she was saying is that you don't have to stop being pro-life, but you can't run on the idea that you're going to do this whenever you don't have the support to do it. You won't have the Senate to do it. It doesn't matter if we take back the Senate or not. You won't have it, so we can't pass any sort of ban. So one of the things that does, and I think this is why this is such a great answer, is it undercuts the Democrat argument that their Republicans are going to take power and they're going to take away abortion from you. She's saying it is impossible without 60 votes in the Senate. That's what she's saying. So that argument isn't there anymore. I think that was brilliant. And I think based on today's YouTube live chat poll, like I said this yesterday,
Should Republicans continue to campaign to make abortion illegal?
Abortion is a heart issue. I think you win this on a cultural level, not on a political level. So yeah, I think that they should stop campaigning to make this illegal. And I think if you win on the cultural level, then the political question becomes moot.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah, I do.
How would you define the word moot?
First, I'd spell it. I would say M-O-O-T.
I wish you spelled it wrong. I wish so bad that you spelled it wrong.
M-U-T-E. No, I look, there's going to be a lot. This is a good question, too, because there's going to be a lot of disagreement about it. Nikki Haley in the post-debate coverage with NBC sat down with them. And I don't think it was the debate moderators asking the questions, but it was similar age people. If you said their names, I'd probably say, oh, yeah, that was them, but I don't remember offhand. They asked her that same question. They pressed her again on abortion. And by the way, they only asked her about 3 or 4 questions. 2 or 3 out of the 4 questions were about Vivek Ramaswamy and about sexism.
I would have asked the question back, where is Vivek Ramaswamy?
Yeah.
I would have said that and stopped and waited.
And she did I'll tell you what, DeSantis did too. They both did a really good job because they asked DeSantis just questions about Trump. Of course, they asked him questions about Trump. They asked her questions about Ramaswamy. They both did a really good job of bringing it away from, oh, here's my spat that I'm having, back to here are the issues that we need to be talking about. And she did that with abortion. Then they asked her about it. And she said again that same answer basically, which is, look, you guys are trying to paint this as an issue that nationally, that we who are running for president are going to be able to address. We will not be able to address this issue nationally from a federal level.
Rick says on YouTube, Annie, what you're saying, if I read you right, is that abortion shouldn't be a litmus test for a candidate for office if you're a pro-life voter. Is that your view? Yeah, I mean, I don't think it should be part of the conversation. And I think that it needs to be a part of the state conversation. And I think that conservatives, if you are incredibly passionate about this issue, what you need to be doing is getting yourself out there and helping these women right now, like actually helping the real women making the choice right now. This is what turns my stomach. How many people who only vote on abortion ever go to actually physically help these women? I think the percentage is less than 10. There are some people who spend all of their time doing that. And so I'm not going to disparage those who are working hard. We need more soldiers who are out there in a caring and compassionate way, helping these women choose life in a real, impactful, actual way. Big news out of West Virginia. Senator Joe Manchin not running for re-election in 2024. That makes a difference. When you have a balance of one Democrat majority, no Joe Manchin, it's going to get wilder and wilder with each passing day. Stick around, Morning Frey Show in just a minute.
Singing your name.
Get a pen. You'll want to take this number down. Okay, you have health insurance, or you don't have health insurance, but you want health insurance at a reasonable price, right? Well, you won't find it with Obamacare, where you can only sign up once a year. With their high deductibles and limited networks, you need to talk to an expert. Kim Kiefer at H&L Agency can help. If you pay for your own health insurance, or your employment coverage is just unaffordable, or if you have a few employees, you could be saving 30 to 60% if you qualify. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. Go to hnlagency.org and get a quote today. We all need quality health insurance at an affordable price. Call Kim at 800-975-2841. That's 800-975-2841. Or go to hnlagency.org. And is spelled out. That's hnlagency.org. A quality plan managed by you, not the government.
I stopped by Fountains Family Dentistry yesterday in Fairview Heights, right in the Fountains Plaza there, right next to Shogun, just to pick up some paperwork. My appointment is until January, but I had to stop by there real quick. And everybody at 6 o'clock in the evening was just nice and friendly, like they were glad to be there. It's a great environment to walk into a dentist and know that everybody is going to treat you very, very well, from the receptionist to the insurance guy to the nurse to the person who's actually doing the dental work. It's a great experience from start to finish at Fountains Family Dentistry, and I was reminded of that yesterday when I walked in. A couple of testimonies I wanted to read to you because, hey, I can tell you all day, but if Jeannie is saying that I was at Fountains Family Dentistry today for dental work, love my results. Patty is really good at what she does. The staff is very friendly and helpful. Steve took the time and helped me decide what to do with my insurance. That's the kind of treatment you're going to get there. Love to endorse them because they're just great to be around. Great dental work. Fountains Family Dentistry in Fairview Heights, fountainfamilydentistry.com.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A daily pause in Gaza. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Biden administration says it'll be a 4-hour pause each day, agreed to by Israel for humanitarian purposes.
There will be 2 humanitarian corridors allowing people to flee the areas of hostilities in the northern part of Gaza.
State Department spokesman Vedant Patel, Israel's military emphasizing it has not agreed to a ceasefire, calling pauses localized. President Biden gets interrupted by a pro-Palestinian protester.
Long time.
This at a union event in Illinois where the president met with the head of the United Auto Workers Union, praising the recent deal that ended an auto workers strike and will expand the factory where he spoke. It had been set to shut down.
When you look out at all of you and the communities like Belvedere, I see real heroes of your story.
Also criticizing his predecessor, saying President Trump was wrong about electric vehicle investment destroying jobs. But as he left the White House earlier today, the president downplaying poor poll results.
Responding to recent polling, President Biden says he does not think he's losing the former President Trump in several battleground states.
You don't read the polls out. There are 10 polls. 8 of them I'm beating him in those states. 8 of them. You guys only do 2.
The Biden-Harris campaign passed along several national polls showing the Democratic ticket leading against Trump and points to polling that showed defeat for former President Obama a year out from his 2012 re-election.
Fox's Jared Halpern. U.S. Senator Joe Manchin just announcing he will not seek re-election next year. The West Virginia Democrat calls it one of the toughest decisions of his life, adding he plans to travel the country, speaking out to see if there's an interest in creating a movement to mobilize the middle and bring Americans together. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, you're up next.
Ugh, my throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Simply Safe was named the best home security of 2023 by U.S. News and World Report. But we don't do what we do for the accolades. We do it to protect you and everything you love. Our advanced sensors and HD cameras are powered by 24/7 professional monitoring for fast emergency response. Visit simplysafe.com/radio to get 50% off any new system today. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The northwest low is back, and it is out with our summertime air mass. Feels like fall this afternoon. Kind of looks like fall. A mix of clouds and sunshine, maybe a sprinkle or a shower. 59 for the high. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a sprinkle here and there down to 42. Friday, sunny and nice, 62. 35 Friday night. Beautiful fall weekend on the way. Sunshine and right around 60 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections? facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
A lot of people are already planning their Thanksgiving dinner meals, and our family is one of those families. We like to host Thanksgiving with our family, whoever happens to be in town at the time. Go stretch your holiday dollars at Ruler Foods. This is what we will be doing this year. Right now, there's a limit of one, but a Kroger turkey at Ruler Foods, 67 cents a pound. Go get your turkey from Kroger or Ruler Foods right now, and make sure that you stick it in your freezer and you got it taken care of. Kroger butter, 2 for $5. You have Kroger canned vegetables as well, 65 cents each. Fresh pineapple or celery, 99 cents each. You can dress your entire holiday table with Ruler Foods and save money while you do it. For the days in between, while you're trying to make everything meet together, Jack's Pizzas, 2 for $6. They have Kroger cooked shrimps, 12 ounces, $4.99. Kroger brown or powdered sugar, 32 ounces, 2 for $3. And Betty Crocker cookie mixes, $2.29. You can save on everything when you go to Ruler Foods. And remember, they have those Kroger brands at Ruler Foods prices. Find them online at rulerfoods.com.
While no child should have to spend the holidays in the hospital, there are many at SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital who will not be able to experience the joy of opening gifts around their tree. Please join 97.1 FM Talk and give the gift of hope and healing to Cardinal Glennon kids and support the Tree of Hope year-end giving campaign. Your gift ensures these brave patients can continue to receive the critical care they need during these challenging times. Thank you for giving at treeofhope.org.
Boy Next Door or Handsome Stranger. You don't have to choose because Pluto TV has all your rom-com favorites, all for free. It's TV the way it should be. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
I can see clearly now thanks to the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and introducing Samuel Berry. You can too. Call 314-966-5000 or check out yourEyeDoc.com. That's yourEyeDoc.com.
Big ideas, real debate, solid entertainment. It's all here on St. Louis's home for conservative talk, 97.1 FM Talk. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's Thursday. We are happy that you are here. We are going to be in the Edwardsville Veterans Day Parade. I'm going to get out the details for this right now. We're putting this together last minute, wouldn't you say? Like maybe a couple days beforehand. And Ryan, are you free? I haven't even asked you yet.
Leah did ask me, and I looked at my calendar, and we have a game at the exact same time, but it's going to be tight. I'm gonna see what I can do.
What, are you going to skip the game and come to the parade?
I'm going to see if I can skip the game because we have 3 games that day. It's a tournament.
So maybe you dip out on
Yeah.
this one. Well, Brad and Leah and I are going to be at the Edwardsville Veterans Day Parade, and it is, I think it is the oldest Veterans Day Parade in the United States. And I think they missed 1 year. And so we've been in it many times, and we're going to be out there again. And Edwardsville has this huge, huge Halloween parade, and the streets are jam-packed full of people. And then there's the Veterans Day Parade, and it's not jam-packed full of people. There's always an amount of people, a decent amount of people who show up. I mean, when we've been there, there's people the entire parade route, but it just should be bigger. And I'm excited about this year's because it's on Saturday at 3 p.m. Usually it is always on Veterans Day, which is Saturday this year, but they usually do it at 7 p.m. because they have to do it at night after most people are out of work. So it starts at 3 p.m. Main Street in Edwardsville, and there's an after party at the American Legion, Post 199, immediately following the parade. So we're going to be a part of this, and I would love to see y'all there. And I'm going to say you can stand anywhere on the parade route, but I think that what I was told here, let me make sure I have this message right. Brad is providing the vehicle.
Yeah, truck and a trailer.
What is this? What is it going to be comprised of?
What do you mean, the truck and the trailer?
Yeah, what are you going to do to
I'm
this?
going to have a pickup truck, and I'm going to put a trailer. I've got some signs that I can hang off of it. We're maybe hoping to try to find some straw bales to put on the trailer so that we can sit on the trailer. And
we're trying to find straw bales right now, hay bales.
And I've also got American flags that I can mount to my truck and all sorts of fun stuff. So
I'm going to suggest that Annie Frey Show listeners should meet in front of the courthouse on the lawn. That's what I was told by the director of this thing, that would be a good place to meet. I just think it'd be fun if we had a big crowd of people. It's a 3 p.m. parade on a Saturday. Work it into your schedule. Eat lunch on Main Street. There's a ton of great places to eat. Eat lunch and then line up for the parade. And let's show support for our veterans. It always kind of seems like a thing that you try to fit in and, oh, I'll do that, and then you just don't get around to it. Let's get around to it. It's like the least we could do, don't you think?
Yeah.
If anybody has any wild suggestions, Ryan, since you may or may not be there, do you have any wild suggestions for the kind of float we should do?
I think instead of hay bales, get one of those giant circular hay bales. Yeah. And instead of the square ones, get one of the circle ones. And then everybody has to sort of stand on that at one point or another while moving. I think that sounds like fun.
Okay, if you come.
Okay. Maybe we put two on top of each other, and you have to surf on top of it like in Teen Wolf.
Man, you've got some references. Yeah, if you've got any ideas, reach out to us on the Annie Frey YouTube chat and tell us. We need straw bales and ideas.
Yeah. And Veterans Day decorations.
And thoughts. I mean, we'll be sitting on the straw bales, and then that's where our ideas end so far. But we're putting this together last minute.
Maybe put an animal on the trailer that eats those. That would be fun.
Like a goat?
A goat, maybe a couple small cows, and then see if it lasts for the whole parade or if they eat through it before it's over.
So this is to honor veterans and to put the focus on veterans. So I'm not. Can you explain to me how that does that?
No, I can't. That is beyond me. I am just thinking of something that I think would be fun.
Chris says, big sign that says Patriot AF.
Yeah.
Annie Frey.
I like where your mind's at, though.
Give us your thoughts. We need ideas. We need better ideas than that. There is a clip running around the internet right now on Twitter, and it's really kind of something to behold. And it is a man who's a police officer, and he pulls over this woman. No, excuse me. He's a non-binary person. I regret my error. But he pulls over this non-binary individual, and it is like if you are playing woke bingo, you're going to have a coverall when you listen to this. So the way this works is this individual is driving the wrong way down the road. And the police officer pulls this individual over. This individual presents as female, but informs the officer right away that I think does the person say this is going to be hard? And I'm specifically trying to respect the situation for the sake of the conversation that we're going to have not being about me saying the wrong thing. Because you can't have a conversation about what's really happening here because they always make it they. That's what the collective's pronoun is. Do we even know?
The Borg.
It's just so easy to get when you want to have a conversation about something. if there is a pronoun element to the story, it always becomes a story.
Yeah, 'cause it's so hard to do. It's so hard to do.
Even if I, regardless of whether I agree with or am permitting this person's belief in their existence to be perpetuated in my conversation, I have my beliefs on that, but I want to be able to have conversations about the things that these individuals do without it only ever ending up being about their pronouns.
Yeah.
But it's almost impossible to do.
Yeah, and the cop has trouble with that.
Here's the part.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Why are you driving in the wrong way of traffic?
No, I just got changed around. I just moved here like 2 months ago.
Okay.
I just got changed around.
Okay. Do you understand what's going on, though?
Yes.
You're going into oncoming traffic.
I know, and I just decided that it was better just to turn around really quick.
Okay.
But I'm sorry. I just have like really bad social anxiety and stuff.
I get you.
I don't want to step out whenever you're asking for stuff.
Okay, well, we're past that. Just go ahead and step out.
As an Indigenous person.
Right back here, please. Miss Perry?
Well, I'm non-binary, so.
Okay. What do you go by?
It's Kai.
How can I refer to you tonight? Kai? Okay.
This is the start. So I think it's important to understand that Kai is driving the wrong way in traffic, and Kai's reason is Kai just thought that she could turn around and go faster that way.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Kai just thought it was a good idea. That's Kai's reason. That is problematic in a completely non-binary way. Very problematic. A black and white problematic issue. You cannot, because of any anxiety or any reason or any sort of accessorized worry that you have in your life, drive the wrong way on the street. It's not allowed for anybody.
Yeah.
It's the most inclusive law we have.
You know what, though? It is kind of a binary law, because when you have a one-way road,
or you go the other.
You either go the one way with traffic or you go the other way.
I'm smelling alcohol.
I know.
How much have you consumed tonight?
Like probably 3 drinks.
I need to run you through some tests right now. Stand facing me, please.
But I just want you to know that I also have very bad social anxiety.
You and me both.
Okay.
Okay. Any recent head trauma, traumatic brain injuries, anything I need to know about?
Mental, yes.
Focus on my finger, please.
I am. You're just like trying to intimidate me.
I don't know how I'm trying to do that. This is the test.
As you know, as an Indigenous person, and there's a bunch of going around, I'm sorry, but it's just for me to be on my toes.
I get you.
Can you remember that I told you that I'm non-binary?
Yeah, I'll try my hardest. I'll refer to you as Kai, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
I want to hang out with this officer.
I did too. He's trying.
I want to know. How do you know it's a he?
Well, he didn't tell me his pronouns.
Like 7 times?
But I don't know. There's something about him.
Him?
It makes me think that he goes by him.
Man, you are just part of the problem.
I need to know if you have any injuries or anything that would prevent you from doing a standard walk or turn tonight.
Mental health.
Any physical injuries?
Mentally, yeah. But no, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Mental, PTSD, depression, anxiety.
I get you.
What else you want?
Now with your right foot, place it in front of your left in a heel-to-toe touching manner with your arms by your side, just like this, ma'am.
Can you not call me ma'am, please?
I'm trying my hardest.
Okay, well.
Okay.
It means a lot to me.
I'm trying my hardest.
I don't feel like a man, so.
Okay.
It's kind of triggering.
Right foot in front of your left. Nope, go back.
I'm sorry, but that whole man thing just like.
I apologize. Let's see if we can move forward from it. You have 0 questions?
No, but I just want to tell you that I suffer from really bad anxiety, especially with generational trauma and PTSD around white people and cops. Like, it's just.
I can't write down these words fast enough. There's so many of them.
Especially around white people and cops.
Yeah.
I have generational trauma and PTSD.
Let's wrap it up with them.
I'm going to speak with you right over here, okay?
No.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and place your hands behind your back.
Don't, dude.
Don't make it hard.
Please.
Don't make it hard.
No,
Don't. You're going to get a resistance.
Dude,
You're going to get a resistance. right?
don't.
Don't resist.
Don't.
Listen to me. Don't resist.
Don't. You're being
Come
a
here.
white man and
Come here.
don't. I followed all of your like, as an indigenous person, like, you guys. You guys are scaring me.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yes, there is. It's
This isn't funny. Stop it. Get it together.
It's actually, I watched the video. It's almost harder to hear because you can hear clearer what she's communicating when you're not watching the spectacle happen.
How many times has she gotten out of something by saying, as an indigenous person?
I would guess that it's worked before if she's trying in this situation.
You're just being a white man.
You're just yeah, you're just being a white man. She's drunk, right? That they determined.
Well, I mean, she failed the field sobriety
Right.
test. She says in there, I did all of your things. And that's supposed to get her off the hook. Except for they driving under the influence the wrong way on the road. None of this ish matters if you're driving the wrong way on the road. None of it matters. If she drives the wrong way, if Kai drives the wrong way on a road and hits and kills a middle-aged white man, is it a tragedy?
Yes.
Obviously. Is it a tragedy to Kai? I don't know. I also don't care. We as a society can't care more about her feelings in this moment than we care about how she endangers other people on the road over drinking and driving the wrong way. Is there a better example of where we need to put a stop to the nonsense? I don't know if there is one.
This cop did a great job. The whole time I was watching and listening to that clip, I'm going, man, this guy's really handling this well.
How would you handle that situation?
I would try to do exactly what that guy's doing. I mean, I know that there's a lot of things that I would like to joke about, but in that situation, the minute she starts bringing that stuff up, Kai brings that stuff up, you know immediately I am being watched like a hawk for lawsuits. So you are on your guard to do not only the right thing in the situation, which is what he's trying to ultimately do, but he's trying to do the right thing to make sure that the reputation of probably his whole police department isn't tarnished by this one person.
What do you think when he goes back to the precinct? And you police officers out there, I want you to message me privately and it will be between you and me. When this guy goes back to the precinct and says, watch this, and they watch that footage. I mean, you're so right, Ryan. Like, you have to be on better than your best behavior. Because while Kai was driving on the wrong side of the road under the influence, I'll just use the word that Kai used, which I think is like an overlooked part of this story. When Kai realizes that this is not going to go hit Kai's way and that Kai is going to get arrested, what does Kai start calling the police officer?
White man.
Dude.
Yes, that too.
Dude. Multiple times. In a world where everybody has to get behind Kai's understanding of reality and affirm Kai's understanding of reality. And you've got a radio show host in St. Louis working really hard to say Kai instead of she or her. When this version of our culture has to affirm that type of pronoun usage. Kai's not even a freaking pronoun. It's a word. And you make it so that everybody around you has to use a specific word when addressing you, because otherwise, in her words, it's triggering. It hurts her feelings. I mean, that's really Kai's feelings. That's really the essence of why people ask other people to use these pronouns, to protect the individual's feelings. Now, there are a lot of people in my life whom I love, who I will do things a different way because I know it protects their feelings. I'm okay with that. When it's somebody I love, I'm going to work towards that. But when Kai starts to feel like Kai's not going to get Kai's way, it's okay for Kai to call a police officer instead of sir, dude. I wonder if Kai gives a crap how dude feels when Mr. Officer Sir is being referred to as dude, because Kai gets to change the entire conversation and level of respect when Kai wants to, and it is everybody else's responsibility to abide by it. That is lunacy. That is, I'm gonna read the words that she used. Kai used in that conversation to try to get Kai's way. There's a guy named Kai out there going, knock it off.
Hey, it's not me.
In a derogatory way, cops, white people, generational trauma, depression, anxiety, mental trauma, social anxiety, indigenous, non-binary, refers to Kai self as Kai, mental health, triggering, and then at the end, Kai calls the police officer dude. You better start buying what you're selling, otherwise I'm not buying it anymore. Because the respect has to go two ways. I'm not giving it to you if you don't give it to me. And none of these people care about any of that. We're just supposed to tap dance in circles around them while we do as they say we should do until they say, now you have to do something different.
Yeah. This person has had their entire life created their own reality around themselves and expected, like you were saying, everybody to partake in that and do that. And you can see the moment, if you watch the video, you can see the moment whenever somebody walks up and hits that reality and shatters it. And that's when the officer said, place your hands behind your back. At that point, Kai realized, I can't create my own reality. The reality is that I am drunk, I was drinking and driving, and I'm going to jail for a DUI, and I don't want to do that. And that's when Kai calls the officer dude. Kai comes into real reality then, and people aren't playing along with Kai's reality any longer.
He should sue her.
On those grounds. You know what? I will agree with
dude, and it hurt my feelings. I am an officer of the law.
I identify as officer.
Yeah.
I agree with Kai on one thing. Kai probably does have some pretty deep trauma somewhere.
And I mean, I don't disrespect that. I feel like the greatest disservice that we are doing to these individuals is indulging this idea. I don't really care how he or she or Kai or they or them or whatever. I don't really care how you live your life. The delusion that we are allowing them is that we are obliged and will comply to live in your reality that doesn't fit ours. Because listen, I am a pretty boring, prude, socially conservative, politically conservative, suburban mom of four. This is not the lifestyle that the progressive left wokeists want to live, and they don't have to. In this country, they get to live whatever reality they want to live in or lifestyle they want to live in. I don't need to project my existence on them. I can live in a world where I get to be me, and they get to be them, or Kai gets to be Kai, or I'm okay with that. I can inhale and exhale in that world, but they can't.
I agree.
Well, when they build a foundation like that, because it's probably at some point she's had some problems. I mean, Kai has had some problems. So instead of trying to get to the root and root out those problems, now we have decided as a society, let's actually leave them and then build up a new reality around them.
Yeah, if I were anorexic and I was, 80 pounds and I was starving myself and you knew it and I was coming in here to work every day, or if I were an alcoholic and I was drinking and I thought I needed to drink in order to get myself through the day. I've got a lot going on. It's how I relieve the pressure and the stress and the anxiety in my life. The responsible thing to do if you love me is not to be like, man, Annie, you look like you're having a rough day. Here's a 6-pack. If you cared about me, that would be the last thing in the world. And if you cared about me and someone brought the drink to me, you'd say no. And you would put yourself in the line of fire to make me angry, to save me from what is destroying me. But that's not how we treat these people.
No.
Annie's absolutely right. She's all over this with, we're doing them a disservice. Sometimes the path to healing is painful, uncomfortable, and it hurts. And if we do care about that person, we want to take them through that painful hurt so that they can get better on the other side.
Well said. I don't really want to laugh at Kai.
I mean, the result is just ridiculous. So it elicits that. But when you start to examine it, you go, well, dang it, this is a problem.
Yeah, it's sad. All right, the YouTube live chat poll for today. Should Republicans continue to campaign to make abortion illegal? Yes or no? I'll read one of your responses here. FR said, I voted yes, but changed my mind already. That was fast. Man, doing the work of the people here. The stated goal should be to reduce the need and number. Americans generally do not like prohibitions of any kind. Big turnoff in the booth. Tell us what you think on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
Just maybe, nobody.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
When you got a lovely lady, I might drive the boys crazy when she's looking so fine. Whoa.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan is a phone call or a text message away. 314-324-4440. When you reach out to Stewie about a bagel loan for your mortgage, I want you to understand how smooth sailing this process is. Regardless if you had a lender recommended to you, maybe from a real estate agent that you trust, they may not have worked with Stewie before. Anybody can come work with Stewie. Call him or text him and say, this is what I'm looking at. What kind of deal do you have for me? And you are going to be surprised at how competitive and how much better it is to work with a bagel loan at Stewart's American Mortgage. When you use a bagel loan with Stewie, and the bagel loan is only available with Stewie, you're going to pay zero in lending costs and closing costs that every other lender out there is going to charge you for, which can save you thousands of dollars on a home purchase. And with interest rates where they are right now, you need to save every penny. I completely understand that. When you call Stewie, he's going to tell you how he can help you. And I've even heard of stories where he's talked to people and he said, you know what? You've got a better deal somewhere else. He is honest. I trust him. I have done business twice with him and would do it again in a heartbeat. Give him a call. See what he can do for you. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
Football and basketball seasons are in full gear, and BetQL is ready to help you win more consistently this year. BetQL is an absolute game changer if you're looking to find trends to help you win. Make smarter bets on spreads, totals, player props, and more. BetQL has already helped over 300,000 people with powerful analytics and community insights. Don't fumble the ball at the goal line or airball any free throws this season. Visit BetQL.com for their free daily analysis today. That's BetQL.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-775-5622. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-775-5622. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-775-5622. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Okay, so you filed your taxes this year, but you know you have past IRS issues. And now the IRS letters are coming. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Don't ignore those IRS letters. They're important and give you rights and deadlines to defend yourself. Waiting could cause you to lose those rights. Call the Lance Story Law Firm now and let us help you get ahead of the IRS and defend your rights while you still have time. The Lance Story Law Firm is located here in St. Louis, so take the first step and hire a tax resolution attorney. We've made it super easy to schedule your free consultation in person, or you can do a phone call and save travel time. Remember, Remember, IRS problems are legal problems. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Land Story Law Firm. Call today at 314-238-7360. That's 314-238-7360. Or go visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness 101 for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness 101. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save up to 20% on a new HVAC system when you bundle it with attic insulation. 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated. For a free estimate on attic insulation, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Want to listen to 97.1 outside the listening area? There's an app for that. Download the Odyssey app, and one tap will turn the station on. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Discovered that in the wake of the West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin not running for re-election, Ryan Wiggins is going to take a stab at that seat, but as Hulk Hogan.
Yes, I am. It's one of the things that I've been thinking about for a long, long time, and I am just going to throw my hat in the ring as Hulk Hogan. Yeah,
I've been thinking about it for a long time, too. Just give us a little campaign speech.
Talk about the coal mines, brother.
So I think that we're still kind of crafting this speech. But we are going to announce, and one of the things that we're going to say is probably about the mountains and how beautiful they are, how Virginia used to be one state.
I don't think you're really.
I don't understand why you get so shy.
I'm not being shy.
Spit everywhere.
I'm trying to practically give you how we're going to announce running for this seat as Hulk Hogan. These are practical matters. If you're going to win, you don't.
I think West Virginia is Hulk Hogan territory. I think he could win.
Can you make a campaign ad?
The problem is.
Yeah, he can, but the election will be over by the time we do it. Let's do Annie, Are You Okay? Because we have limited time.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
hey, Trisha.
Hey. Man attacked by otters. A man is pushing for wildlife officials to improve safety after he was attacked by otters in a California lake.
Aren't otters the cutest?
They're so cute.
Yeah, but they're incredibly aggressive.
Would that be kind of enjoyable? Like, oh, come here. Why are you doing that to me?
Well, ow.
Oh,
ow.
I probably deserve it.
Why'd you bite my finger off? Silly.
Hold still.
Who can I sue over this? How about wildlife officials?
He's mad. He called him wimpy in their response.
Oh, man. But did he use the right pronoun?
I don't know about that. He just calls them fish and wildlife. There's no pronoun. Yeah, he was bit by otters at least a dozen times. That had to be confusing.
I mean, you can't look at an otter and not smile. I don't know what it's like to be attacked by him, but I think I'd still be smiling.
Just picturing him running away from the lake with otters surrounded him. Like, why didn't anybody tell me?
I love you, but you
What do otters get out of that? Are they trying to eat you?
What else are they doing during that time?
I mean,
a
there's
thrill. They get a thrill.
Do you think it's just an adrenaline rush for them?
Why do you do what you do? Hulk?
I don't know.
Neither do we.
I think that's why I'm sort of examining.
Maybe you're an otter. I'm refer to you as otter self.
I do sometimes bite people when I see them in the water.
That's why we don't invite you to swim anymore.
The question is, Annie, are you okay with swimming in lakes?
No, don't want it.
What
I
about
basically
in pools or anywhere with Ryan.
I don't like to be around Ryan.
Especially when he starts licking his chops.
Even in the water. That's so weird.
He gets near Ryan. Ryan gets near water and he starts chomping at you.
Ryan, we just gave you beans and rice.
This is gonna get
but now I see
rapidly weird.
Keep him away from the kitchen. Human skull was discovered in a Florida thrift shop. A shopper noticed that one of the skulls in the Halloween section looked a little too real. This shopper happened to be an anthropologist and realized
What are the odds?
Right. And realized the skull was in fact human, prompting detectives to come and pick it up. The store owner told the police that the skull was found inside a storage unit that was purchased years ago.
An anthropologist is somebody who studies culture.
And
though.
an anthropologist
Not bones.
happened
Did you
to be
Google that?
identified.
Did you Google that?
No.
Did you Google that?
No, I did not, Annie.
Are you sure?
My wife studied anthropology in college, so I know what it is.
She studied culture and she picked you.
And she knocked on my cranium a couple times. She's like, yeah,
She's like,
seems
I need
fine.
to study this
Maybe
more.
she's working on her doctorate.
Seems
This is a
ottery,
research
but-
project right here.
Annie, are you okay with thrift and antique shopping?
Love it. Not for body parts.
Fair.
But no, I love it. I love it. I'm gonna throw a plug out there right now. Tomorrow in Glen Carbon on Main Street, Jen Teskey is she's a real estate sponsor of the show, endorser, and a friend of mine. They are sponsoring a free photos with Santa Claus, the man.
Oh, yeah?
Not upstairs, but up north. And from 5 to 9 p.m. But there's like a entire Main Street Christmas festival. And I don't know if there are any like actual antique thrift stores there yet, but there's a lot of stuff that kind of fits that type of style and vibe. So you should go check out, I think it's called Miracle on Main Street in Glen Carbon, and make sure you go see Jen Teskey and Santa Claus and get your free picture taken. I think I'm
Santa's
gonna
going to
go.
be there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
You serious,
I
Clark?
love that he's
Is that from Christmas Vacation?
Yeah.
I've only seen it once, but I have seen it once, which is new.
You ever bought a body part in an antique store, just for the record?
No.
Okay.
Have you?
I bought a hand once,
So
and
it's
every
never
time I
fake.
made a wish, one of the fingers would wither up.
Was it a monkey's paw?
And the wishes like didn't turn out well. They always turned out ironically.
Walrus
Didn't
asked,
appreciate
and I
that.
will confirm it is the real Santa.
Sure, that's coming.
Mhm.
It's cool that he's stopping by.
Yeah, they booked him first.
That's smart. People are putting toilet paper in the fridge. A new TikTok trend
Oh,
shows
heck.
people placing toilet paper in their refrigerators to absorb the smell.
What?
Yep. One user
Once you've used it?
not of the toilet paper of the fridge.
It's like they know they can flush it, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to roll it back
You
up.
don't have to put it
Not
away.
in Biden's America. You flush half as many times. Save water.
Very
If
expensive.
you absorb it, then you can use it again.
Oh my
Keep
gosh.
your toilet paper fresh longer.
You guys seen the Dude Wipes commercials?
Yeah.
My son, who is 13, loves those commercials. Loves them. Because it's just a cartoon commercial about wiping butts.
Sure. I think that they had pumpkin scented dude wipes.
They had
at-
this pumpkin spice.
Yeah,
That's right,
I
they
think we
do.
talked about that, and I kept calling them pumpkin flavored.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not okay with that. That is where I draw the line.
One user suggested swapping out the fridge roll every 3 to 4 weeks for the best results. I don't know why people's fridges smell so bad that they need to put toilet paper in there, but
Put open baking soda in there.
Annie, are you okay with fridge toilet paper?
I mean, if you had a stinky fridge, you should probably clean it, because unless you clean out the thing that's stinking, it will continue to stink, and now you're wasting toilet paper. But if you needed to get the little extra remnant of the smell out after you cleaned it, and it works. But I'm not buying toilet paper to make my fridge smell cleaner.
I've been doing this for a while. During COVID, though, my fridge smelled terrible because you just couldn't find it.
And now it's time to play.
Thank you. Great job.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
It's going about as it normally does. You guys want any more?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I want the rest.
Chicago man with no competitive eating experience sets record at Florida crab eating
Ryan-
contest.
Man,
Was this when
I
Ryan was
respect
gone?
this man.
Was Ryan gone when this happened?
No competitive eating experience, and he won.
0, and he won.
That is fantastic. What was he eating?
This was at
Crab
the
legs?
Keys Fisheries Stone Crab Eating Contest last weekend.
Ooh.
And it was a speed thing. The competition required contestants to crack and eat 12 crab claws and pick them completely clean in the fastest time.
That was my next
I cannot
question.
think of anything worse to watch than that. I am thinking that is where it ends for me. No.
You got to have some pretty good crack and suck power.
No.
And then, but the payoff's big.
Well, you suck a lot, so you'd be great at
I
this.
probably would be good at that.
What about the cracking part?
I love me some crack. When it comes to crab claws, you guys, you're
You
fine.
and Hunter Biden.
That's what I was talking about, too.
Okay.
Annie, are you okay with seafood?
No, I don't eat any of it. Not a bit.
None.
I'm okay with other people having it.
Except for this guy on TV. For
I
10
just don't. I
minutes.
don't need to watch anybody eat anything ever. I don't even need to know that other people eat.
What do you want to talk about other people eating?
I didn't want to talk about that. But here we are.
Yet here we are. All right. And finally, Heinz is launching their pickle ketchup nationwide. They announced earlier.
Is that called relish?
Seems like it would be.
No, because relish
But
is...
it's dawning on you right now, isn't it?
Yeah, but relish isn't pickle ketchup.
No, but it's pretty close.
Is it?
Well, what is pickle ketchup?
It's
That would be
pickle-
the first question we should have asked.
Pickle flavored
Yeah.
ketchup. It's like
So it's
dill
just a
flavored
sauce.
ketchup. Yeah.
Is it
calling
green?
They're calling it, for marketing purposes, a big dill. So
Why would they
There's
call
that.
it that?
uh,
Brian?
Sucks.
they had to crack it.
They had to crack the code on the recipe, and then it sucks.
So it's a big deal.
It's a big dill. Anyway, are you okay with pickle ketchup?
I really like pickles. So I don't know. I like relish on a hot dog. I don't
What
really
is relish?
it's just chopped up pickles and pickle
like sweet
Goo.
or something?
It can be sweet pickle
Sweet
relish.
relish is sweet pickles, but there's also dill relish.
All diced up.
Well, add some ketchup to that.
See, that would be chunky though.
I
I'm
don't think
wondering if this is
chunky.
just like a
I
smooth
think this is flavored.
sauce.
Yep. That's what I think.
I think it sounds disgusting, but I also think that maybe it has the potential not to be. But I
it
don't
seems
know.
like the creative department at Heinz or wherever this was got lazy. They just kind of pointed at the assembly line. They're like, I don't know, let's do those two.
But I mean, don't you like of all of the things when they come up with all the crazy potato chip flavors
Yeah.
and stuff like that? Don't you think that this is at least in the realm of that could work?
Yeah, just because
Yeah.
it's stuff they're already making. You know, they're not adding wasabi to things. Although I like trying all those weird ones too, because once in a while they hit and they hit hard and they're really good. But 9 times out of 10, they suck.
I'd be willing to try it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not so repulsed by it that I wouldn't try it. I'd be willing to try it.
I hate the smell of ketchup after the fact. And if you have children who are in your car and they leave a cheeseburger wrapper that's got a little ketchup on it or a ketchup packet or something like that, and you smell it the next day, it's horrible.
You are right, and I've never thought of it, but as soon as you said it, my nose started
Yes,
to burn.
it's
that
no good.
day-old ketchup, yeah. Ugh.
But we don't get ketchup in my car when the food is going to be consumed in the car. No ketchup. My kids, they're used to it now, but sorry, kids. If you could clean up the car when you left, then we'd have ketchup, but we can't
Yeah,
have nice
that's a real thing. I never thought of that. So pickle ketchup, maybe.
Maybe.
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate
It's
you.
been really quiet. Is it quiet in here today?
Yeah, it pleasantly.
Okay.
There's no problem with that. Don't want to challenge it.
Do I want to challenge it?
I looked up at the screen and there was a rocket flying through the sky, but I think it's fiction.
Who knows anymore?
I mean, I paused for a minute just to take it in, but I think it's on the Drew Barrymore show or something, so it's probably okay. We'll see. We'll find out when we're back, if we're back.
We don't know where Drew went, but here's a simulation of where we think she might have gone.
Looks like Mars. YouTube live chat poll. Should Republicans continue to campaign to make abortion illegal? Yes or no? Your thoughts and comments when we come back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Talk to you
you about the Jewish Federation's Blue Ribbon Campaign. Right now, you can go to jfedstl.org. That's jfedstl.org, and join me in showing solidarity for Israel. I see things like this, and I have always said, like, the best way to solve a big problem that you can't solve yourself is to go solve something for someone else and pay it forward. That has a ripple effect. And you can do that with the Blue Ribbon Campaign with the Jewish Federation. Let me tell you a little bit about it. The Blue Ribbon symbolizes support for the safe return of all 230 plus hostages taken by Hamas and Israel. You can unite with people of all religions, races, and nationalities together in telling the people of Israel that they are not alone. Would you do that with me? Go to jfedstl.org. Any donation is going to be helpful, and we can come stand together. You know, regardless of what you believe, regardless of what I believe, can we all agree in the dignity of who needs to be defended and stood with right now in this moment? Join me with the Jewish Federation in their Blue Ribbon Campaign and make a donation to help support these people. Every dollar donated at jfedstl.org will go to saving lives and providing support in Israel. This is where you can step in and be a part of the solution. I stand by it. I hope you will too. jfedstl.org.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
How would you like to come home to a bartender who will fix you any cocktail you want? I'll have an old-fashioned.
I'll have a margarita.
Now you can with the Bartesian Home Cocktail Maker. Bartesian is a sleek machine the size of a coffee maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And now, get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever at bartesian.com/sips. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all kinds of individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. The Bartesian makes a wonderful gift for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. Now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever. It's available right now only at bartesian.com/sips. That's BARTESIAN.com/sips for Bartesian's best deal ever. Only at bartesian.com/sips.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
You've listened to 97.1 FM Talk. You've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend right here on 97.1 FM Talk. And you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
The subject of today's poll is an important one and difficult to answer yes or no, although those are your options today. Should Republicans continue to campaign to make abortion illegal? Yes or no? That is the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. That's what you type in if you'd like to vote and make your voice heard, and leave a comment. We're about to read those and give you the results of that poll here in just a minute. 2:52 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Senator Eric Schmidt.
We've got to start calling this stuff out, and we've got to get back to what makes America great, which is this idea that you can achieve, and we believe in merit. And, you know, your ideas matter more than what you look like.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
It is Foghat.
Oh, darn right, it's Foghat.
Yeah, I knew it, and I Googled it because if you say the word Foghat and that's not a real thing, it sounds real dumb.
Yeah, it's one of the dumber band names that's ever existed.
What does it mean?
I think it means that if you have something on your head and there's a cloud that descends like to the ground, that's what that is.
I'm glad I asked you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Because I felt stupid.
No. You're not stupid. Foghat is stupid, and they rock.
In other news, and apropos of absolutely nothing, Info said there's a drink called Old Fashioned. There should be a drink called Newfangled.
I like it.
I'd try that.
Yeah. Have to have some energy drinks in it or something.
Tom K says hog fat.
Fair.
Which is just as good of an explanation as Ryan's.
Mine was very factual, though.
I don't think that it was.
I don't think hog fat is an explanation for Foghat.
Don't you want to listen to a band called Hog Fat more than Foghat? Hog Fat. Think about it. Bacon.
Hog Fat sounds like a band that would feature Rockmouth.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking real hard about this for no reason.
I have it in my mind. I can hear it in my mind, and you two will be able to hear it in March. The YouTube live chat poll. Let's go around the room here real quick. On the Annie Frey YouTube channel, we've got over 220 votes right now. Should Republicans continue to campaign to make abortion illegal? Yes or no? Ryan, what do you think?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they need to back off of what they're doing right now so they can come up with a strategy to start putting actual limits, because right now what they're doing is losing.
Leah, what do you think?
Well, after that, I was like, oh, maybe I was going to say yes, just because I think of how important it is, but I don't know.
I think, well, I'm a no, because I feel like the yes campaign is 100% loser.
Right now it is.
Bat and over. And if the goal is actually to save the lives of the unborn, this is not a successful way of doing it. And in a dream world, yes, but in a reality that we live in right now, tragically, I think my answer here is no. Brad, what do you think?
I think if you take this fight to the culture, then you can come back to it as a political issue.
But you have to change the minds.
But you have to change the minds of people before you can even bring this up on a ballot. So, yeah, I'm a no.
Bob says Republicans should continue to push legislation and or amendments at the state and local level regarding abortion. They should refrain from doing so at the federal level. Walrus King says morally, yes. And he's the king, so he then follows it with strategically, no. Ripper says no at the federal level. The Supreme Court left it up to the states, and that is where it should remain. Sheepdog says, I voted no. I majored in political science and learned that the role of government is to do the most good for the greatest number of people as possible. Dirk says, I voted no. Although I am against abortion, I think they need to back off on it at this time. Grant said, sadly, the issue is losing votes for the Republican Party. It's awful that people think it's okay to murder babies, but I wish there were a way to keep it out of politics. The results of the YouTube live chat poll for today, Thursday, November 9th. Should Republicans continue to campaign to make abortion illegal? Yes or no? 66% of 223 votes say no. It's a pretty strong majority of our audience right now, of which I would garner to say a lot of you are pro-life. I think more than 66% of you are pro-life.
It's a strategic answer is what it sounds like.
And I think it's a smart one. Thank you, as always, for voting in the poll today. A reminder to check out the Veterans Day Parade happening in Edwardsville Saturday at 3 p.m. We're going to be there. Go join us and participate. Veterans Day tomorrow, and we will acknowledge it. Mark Reardon up next.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. A day removed from Tuesday's elections, how much did abortion really play into the results? We're going to talk about it and the implications for 2024 coming up.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.